And we are live. We are live. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you don't even know what camera to look at. Now, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. And before I roll the intro, I'll give y'all the teaser trailer of what's going on here because we doing. Oh shoot, I forgot something real important that I got to go back and do. But the teaser trailer. What are you doing?
Jackie loves Jack.
What you doing with your hands?
I'm making a heart.
It look weird. So we doing an in studio show thing. We got in studio guests. Shout out to Jackie Jack, Mike and Vince Perkins. Y'all have seen him. Y'all have seen him on the show. I'm trying. All right, I was about to make a joke. I let that. I'm gonna let it ride.
Let it ride now.
There was a man bun joke before the before the.
We ain't even in it. We ain't even got to the show yet. We ain't 5 minutes in, son.
Zoom in on that man bun.
No, I don't have those capabilities yet. When I get the zoom in remote, that will be happening. We'll anybody show up with a damn man bun, it will be zoomed in on. But shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. We also joined by Hassani Ali in the building. Y'all have seen him on my channel before. So what's up? Shout out to everybody. Appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, let's get ready to go. Where's my intro? Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
All right, what's up? What's going on, everybody? I'd like to thank everybody who made it into the building today. I'm still, as always, dotting I's, crossing T's. Don't never got anything all the way together, but shout out to everybody that's in here. Omega Dreads Gaming Channel in the building. Hold up, let me do something to make it a little easier for me to see. Hold on. There's gonna be a few unforced errors in this show. I already could tell because I'm restarting something here where I got in studio guests, and y'all know what it is. I've already introduced him. I just do reintroduce him now after I did the intro. Y'all know we got hold on. See, this is why I need somebody to actually handle the controls. We'll work on that. But got Jackie Jack, and quit making that weird heart thing. We got Jackie Jack and Mike from Mike and Vince Perkins live in studio. Shout out to them. Appreciate both of them being here, and shout out to y'all probably remember Coach Ali. Remember Coach Ali? He's been on my channel before. So shout Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Omega Dreads Gaming Channel. Shout out to Early Bird Squad, those that make it in bright and early before we get started. Omega Dread says, regarding the topic, he says, are men to blame? Yes, predominantly. Whatever and oh, okay. Yeah, forgive me. I got two screens up. All right, okay, so I'm gonna blow that one up and then work from this one. Now I got it. Okay. He says, are men to blame? Yes, predominantly for what ancestors, for whatever ancestors was matriarchal, simp, holy male, feminist are to blame because princess was put above prince. Thank you for your comment. Shout out to Omega Dread. Shout out to who else do we got in here bright and early? Shout out to Prime VA 757. Shout out to Snazzy Individual, says, what up, BR? Shout out to Van, says, awesome live panel. Love it already. Absolutely. Thank you. Shout out to who else we got in here? Shout out to RM. Shout out to Andre, says, supporting the show. Andre says, supporting the show. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Appreciate that. And who else we got in here? Freeman's Journal in the building. So shout out to Freeman's Journal. Shout out to everybody. All right, we about to go ahead and get on into this. Got a number of things on the docket that we will be discussing. We're going to be talking about the no such thing as a natural woman. The no such thing as a natural woman. We'll probably start right there because I was a little confused about where to start and trying to work with new equipment, and I kind of got it halfway figured out what I'm doing here. Nope, I don't got it figured out what I'm doing here. Got it halfway figured out what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go to Mike and or Jackie. I'm going to go to Mike first on that one. The LGBTQRS community is trying to get Aretha Franklin's song banned from streaming platforms because there's no such thing as a natural woman. They have done that where they've tried to cancel and Me Too dead men. So this is not uncommon. But go ahead, Mike. What's your initial take on that one?
My initial take, I mean, like, if we can like relitigate all kinds of history with regards to like songs from Aretha Franklin. So I wish that we would just do it across the board if we're gonna do it. There are plenty of rock songs, whereas white guys are like telling you that they're dealing with underage women. Like literally telling you, like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it all across the board. Let's not just do it, in spots where we feel comfortable with doing it because this is the new flavor of the month. Natural woman, well, trans doesn't feel like that. The trans community doesn't feel like that should exist. If we're gonna do it, let's do it all across the board, or not at all, which is what I really want to do. Just not at all. How about we just not do that? How about we let that song just be a song? The song is a big song. Obviously, it's one of her biggest songs, but I don't think in the broad scheme of things, it's important enough to like cancel the song off of platforms. That's just getting ridiculous. It's one of those things where it's just like, you can have your ideology, but you don't have to force your ideology on everybody else, i.e. taking the song off of streaming platforms and whatnot. I mean, and Aretha Franklin, that's Detroit, man. We tripping.
Yeah, we are in
Oh, she's Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's
halfway. I'm halfway judging.
Yeah, I'm judging.
She's the only one in the room ain't from Michigan, so she did get a strong side eye,
Yeah, nah, I said that, and you should have been like, "Yeah, she's from Detroit." Yes,
I should have just went along with it.
That was the time to pretend. That was the time to pretend like you was just in the know and
you knew exactly what was going on.
Everything was cool with it. But anyway, so let's ask the person with ovaries on the panel. Jackie, what's a woman?
What's a woman?
What is a woman?
A female? Is that what you're trying to ask?
It's not enough.
What do you mean that's not enough? What else do you need?
Not enough.
Jesus Christ.
She has female.
Are you real quick, because you're smart sometimes. Are you unfamiliar with the reference? What is a woman?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do remember when they was in Congress or whatever? No, not when they asked the Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Ketanji Brown Jackie.
Brown Jackson.
I know what a woman is.
You struggling on the answer.
I just said it's a female.
All right.
No, it's not. A dog can be a female.
a human female. How about that?
There we go. There we go. Ketanji
took
Brown
her-
Jackie.
Took her 3 minutes. She finally.
I didn't know where I was messing up at.
You know where you was messing up at?
I didn't. I thought it was like I thought we were talking about humans
Remember, Aretha Franklin is from
already.
Detroit. Just remember that.
Yeah, but anyway, what's your what's your thoughts on Aretha Franklin? Like I said, they Me Too men after they dead sometimes. So they going after Aretha Franklin's song after she's dead. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is I don't know. I think it's all weird. Every time they go after people, it's like it's in the past. Who cares? Like there's certain people that's gonna listen to that song and appreciate it. Just let it go. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of racist songs in the past, right?
Oh yes,
And
The national anthem.
right.
The second verse in particular.
but do they even sing that part?
They
No,
don't.
that's the
but
point.
Yeah.
They don't, but it's all good.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
no.
like if you offended by it, just don't listen to it. That's how I feel about any content you don't like. Just don't listen to it.
Well, no, there is a time and place to give social commentary. I mean, like me, you and Mike, we got YouTube channels, so we do talk about a lot of stuff we don't like. So to me, that ain't a fair argument. It's about
No, you can talk about it, but getting it canceled.
fair.
though,
Okay,
that's the
fair enough. Fair enough.
difference.
Got you.
Like, you
Yeah,
can talk about it. You
yeah.
can talk about girls with terrible, like those lashes, but are you trying to like ban lashes?
I think we should.
Right. You think we
Okay.
should? No.
Cancel lashes.
Cancel lashes.
How about
The
let's put
of the snuffleupagus sort. Yeah, get rid of them. Get rid of them. You should get
How about
Umar. You should get Umar Johnson lashes for
oh
lashes.
my god,
Lashes.
That's
lashes
what-
for
it should-
lashes.
You should get at least 1,000 for that.
Some of them might like that.
Mm.
Well, those are my kind of women.
It might be-
My kind of women. No, I'm playing.
Hold on. Yeah, you did say in the back that I got to put you on the spot. You did say in the back that you like crazy. Well, just before we was on camera, you said you like crazy women. Now I wish I had that remote zoom so I could zoom on you explaining
With the man blend.
how a dude rocking the blazer and rocking okay, I'm judging. Hold on. I'm judging. Rocking doing the thing where you cuff your pants and slightly flooding.
Hey,
Like you can't
dude.
do that with a man bun and also say you like crazy women.
Hey, man,
You look like the type of dude that crazy women just completely
ignore
tear to
it.
shreds and or
Tear to
ruin
shreds?
your life.
Well, that to ruin my life. Yeah, of course. That's what they try to ruin my life. No. Like I would say this: the bar for stability is much lower when you're dealing with crazy women. The bar for stability is much lower. You know what I mean? And not to say that I need the bar to be lower. It's just they're easier.
That's what
to
it sounds
do.
like.
No. I'm just saying that the
He's
bar.
just stating he's just
stating the
observing,
fact,
you
the
know.
bar for like again. I got a couple jobs. I go to school. I do a lot of very structural things. I got kids. I gotta be, other than here, I'm on time generally.
He
That's why we're
he
late.
like a chick that just be like, ooh, the heat work in your car. This is nice.
Oh, he
Ooh,
got
we
money.
living-
Money.
Ooh, his car started right up. He just
Right.
he just
at that.
turned the key and
Look
it
at his
started.
He had to put the praying hands on it. Yeah.
yes. That
Like glory.
glory. Right. you have to pray and put your hand on the engine. Please. Nah. That just I would say the threshold for or the bar for stability is a lot lower. And I'm not even talking financially. I'm just talking about having something to do every day. You know what I mean? They're a lot easier to deal with in that way. You know what I mean? But I don't necessarily I don't it's just they're cool sometimes to be around. They're cool to deal with sometimes. I shouldn't be judged.
A little bit. Chat room. Let me know in the chat room if everybody audio sound good. It is hard getting 4 mics set up, but so let me know if everybody audio is sounding good.
Do I sound
But
good, you guys?
We don't allow that. We don't allow that.
You got like 2 penalties. I don't know.
The heart thing and now this.
Yeah.
We don't allow that. We don't
You're
allow
gonna
that.
be deep up in the penalty box.
Right.
But
Put you in
But
a
all right,
timeout.
Freeman's Journal in the building. Shout out to Freeman's Journal. He says, salute, nice studio. But nah, Riley, you brought the eye candy too. Hey,
See,
listen,
that's why you can't kick me off.
you kind of got a point. It was gonna be one of her friends was supposed to be coming. I don't know if you remember her crazy friend that came on the show. She was supposed to be coming. It was gonna be wild in here because her friend is crazy. Jackie acts like she's not crazy. I think she might be crazy too. But but anyway, no, it was really gonna be going down. But what he says about the eye candy too, support Black Male Media. Hit the like button. Definitely, y'all hit the like button. He says respect the content, like, share, subscribe. Ohio, go Buckeyes. Yeah.
Man, chill out.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
What?
Huh?
Roll Tide.
Huh?
What?
Roll Tide.
Jackie has a problem.
Yeah, she got slight issues. But no, if everybody audio, yeah, okay. I gotta get my system. Oh wait, no, this is what I'm doing. At least I think. All right. I might have my system together where I can keep an eye on everything and watch the chat and whatnot. Well, he said Jackie's friend that dates white men. Well, she had a white sugar daddy who she allegedly wasn't giving any sugar to. Let's just say that.
She's over that phase.
Yeah, that one. But anyway, Hassan, I'm trying to get back to calling you Coach Ali.
Whatever.
Even though you ain't, you maybe you'll start back using your Coach Ali channel eventually. But you're busy, man. Maybe you'll get back to it. But anyway, yeah. Before we move on to the next topic, go ahead. What's your take on the whole banning of there's no such thing as a natural woman?
As far as the political arena, I can't get with it. I listened to R. Kelly on the way over here.
Man, I listened to
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but forget this. I mean, forget the political part. Like, no one's gonna stop listening to the song. Like, I'm sure my mother, my aunts, cousins, whatever, listen to the song. Like, you're not gonna get somebody to not listen to the song just because you don't agree with the statement. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna bump all Aretha Franklin, everything that's offensive, anything R. Kelly, Michael Jackson's greatest hits. Who we missing?
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez, DMX. I'm gonna have a whole collection.
What did DMX do?
He
died.
He made a derogatory slander towards that community. And when he died, they made a whole hit piece on it. I can't remember.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what the song was, but it was something about the G's. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that sounds about right.
Yeah, so it was just like anything, and anything offensive, we like it anyway. I mean, you saw what they did to Arthur. We made a whole, meme compilation of Arthur, then effed up the whole series for little kids. I mean,
the one where him pulling up his pants is wild.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm like, did that really happen? My kids.
But here's on a serious note. But you realize this is what you can do when you have money. You can literally politicize and get a chance to campaign, to point a finger at something that you don't like and actually have people pay attention to it. Like, when you have that type of power, you can basically do whatever you want. And they say, if you want to know who's empowered, try to go against them and see what happens. And this is exactly what you're seeing.
That's true.
And Aretha Franklin can't defend herself because she's not here.
I think that the thing that a lot of times, like, I'm looking at a lot of like the trying to cancel the song, I think that the powers that be are not even necessarily concerned with these things. They're more so just trying to see how far their power reaches. Just like how far, what can I do? Like, it's not really about COVID. It's about, can I tell them to stay in the house and they'll just do it? You know what I mean? It's not about the vaccine. It's not about any of that stuff. It's like, if I tell them to wear a mask and pull it down when they're eating, but put it back up when they're not, like, if I tell them that, will they do it? And then when they're doing it, it's like, oh, we really got the power. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I was on board with COVID and all of that. Like, I was on board. Okay, it's a disease or infection or virus. My fault, virus. I was like, it's a virus. Okay, and if staying inside is gonna make it go away, okay, everybody just stay inside for a week. I was on board when they opened the shit up and let everybody come outside, but said you can go out to eat. Walk in with your mask on, take it off, eat, put it back on, and walk. I was like, "This is some bullshit." Yeah. That was when I checked completely out. I was done after that. After that I didn't care. I wasn't even trying to,
I wasn't even trying to avoid it at that point. I was like, yeah, y'all are just selling us nonsense. So that's when I was completely done. So yeah, you make a good point on how they do operate like we about to tell y'all something just to see if we can tell y'all, just to see if y'all do it, just to see if y'all do it, just to see how much control we got over you, you little people. Like that's
it's like being in a relationship with a
crazy woman,
with a crazy woman who gaslights you and mentally, emotionally abuse you. She don't really want you to do. She wants you to do the stuff.
Aren't you into that?
Hey, hey now, no, she doesn't. She wants you to do the stuff, obviously, but sometimes they just want to see how far their power goes.
No, that's real talk.
Yeah, so yeah,
that is real talk. They do legit be crazy like that. And speaking of that, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I remember saying she can't access the StreamYard for some reason.
See
Okay.
her.
No. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But all right, going to the like I told you, I was going to be a lot of unforced errors today. We working out key. But going to the main topic. Speaking of crazy women, are men to blame? Are men to blame for women's inflated ego or sense of self-worth? Like we be calling them out. Kevin Samuels made a career. He did a lot of great things. But among that, he beat all the okay, let me not use the word beat.
No, pun intended. Let's go with it. Fuck it, it's Friday.
That shit.
He negotiated all of the high sense of self-worth out of them through respectful dialogue. And but the fact of the matter is, are men to blame? Are men to blame for Jackie's high sense of self-worth? I mean, women in general. Women in general. I put you on the spot.
All the Jackies of the world.
Are men to blame?
It's on you
for that.
Oh wait, I gotta go first.
Of course.
I was going to go to Mike.
Okay, since I'm a woman, yes, it's your fault.
All right.
But why is it our fault?
Okay, it's y'all's fault because I mean we be looking for validation and attention. So if you give us attention, we're just going to just keep doing it. Just like Mike said, he like crazy girls. Like, why would she stop being crazy? I
don't give him nothing.
You give them attention, and attention is like everything.
Attention is air, right?
It really is. It's like currency. So like, if you don't give them attention, like I think it's like with Blueface and Krishan. I think Blueface is the problem.
Of course you do.
Of course, no matter, she can punch him in the face.
No, right. I'm not saying her punching him in the face is good. Like she's not in the wrong. She's in the wrong, but why is he in a relationship with her? And y'all gotta admit that. Like, why is he with her?
I can't answer that question. I can't. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. So yeah, like I'm not going to fight you on the whole notion that that's Blueface's fault. But see, normally what happens is when people try to do that, what they're trying to do is absolve the woman of all culpability and blame. It's his fault for allowing it. Normally when somebody make that point, what they're really trying to do is just remove blame and agency from a woman. But she only do what you allow. If you don't want her to do it, don't allow it. Okay, she's still a piece of shit, though.
That's not what I'm
saying. So you basically just gotta admit that, okay, well, women are pieces of shit. If they're gonna naturally treat a guy like shit just because they can.
No, what I'm saying is, who would even know about Krishan Rock without Blueface? Who would even know about her?
That's a sidestep.
How's that a sidestep? He makes her popular.
I know, but we're talking about who's to blame for the.
Okay, so he keeps her like in the spotlight where her whatever her antics.
So basically, what you're saying is she's getting her validation indirectly from him.
Yeah,
or directly and indirectly.
It does speak to the topic.
Promoted by him.
No, I give you that. What you're saying does speak to the topic that it's men's fault for validating all of their nonsense. She feels validated, safe, and secure to be as crazy as she is because here it is, a rich man who got options, want to keep fighting with her every other weekend or every other day on the internet. Ain't she like allegedly pregnant and was in a full blown battle royal recently in the street somewhere?
Yeah, she got in 2 fights after she said she was pregnant.
And she does sip Hennessy from time to time
While pregnant.
While
I mark my words, this is my prediction. There will be video of her with a pregnant belly smoking and drinking. Guarantee.
She says she's had I think 3 or 4 abortions.
Yeah.
Coochie's a graveyard.
Yeah, the more abortions, the crazier. So you should go
Yes.
for that.
Ask
them how many.
I'm straight. I'm straight.
And
I have a
there
limit.
you go,
I have a
crazy
limit on my
scale right there.
I have a
Put that,
limit on my
put that on
crazy.
your Hinge profile.
Exactly.
How many trips to the clinic have you gone to?
Like, no. I got a limit on my
Hey,
crazy. This is
How many
this is
times
special
you been
kind
to
of
the
crazy.
chop shop?
Woo!
Ooh.
Call it the
You
chop
call it the
shop.
chop shop.
Yeah. Sometimes when it gets far along, they have to.
I mean, yeah, but
They gotta pull them apart to get them
Oh,
out.
What do you seriously?
yeah.
Yeah.
I be hearing
They
people.
have to just like pull their parts of
And
the
this,
baby apart
So
to get it out.
and this
to-
is
To
what they're fighting to
vacuum
be
the
able to
baby
do.
out.
This is what they're fighting to be able to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
so I went to a Catholic school, Bernard, and when you went to actually right down the street, and it's wild because they actually talked about all the forms of smishmortion. I don't know if you can say it on your channel. So they talk
Yeah.
about from the early stages where you can just take the pill, from the vacuum to the actual like you said, the chopping up the body, or the partial, the partial birth where you know
Oh, yeah.
it's a little too graphic. I ain't gonna get into that. But like, because in the Catholic's mind, their job is to scare you into not doing it, but also we're gonna give you these. It's kind of like the DARE program. It's like these are your options. Don't do them, but here's the availability of what you have as far as your options. So in their mind, they're trying to scare you into not doing it, but at the same time, they gave you every horrendous way, that you can go about it. So
Wow.
so when you said chop shop, it was like, ugh.
Yeah, because they do that after a certain period. You have to do that. Like they can't just when they vacuum the fetus out. Like they have to chop it up to be able to even like vacuum it out.
And then not to mention they turn around and
What do you mean they chop? You sound like you're saying they chop it up while it's still in there. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So they go inside of a woman and start slicing and dicing stuff. Like that
Well,
don't sound like
No.
that can't be what they do.
It pulling it apart. Are you saying pull it apart?
Yeah.
Don't they just suck them out? Okay, it's messed up when you put a him or her. Okay, no, they just suck it. I mean,
and then turn around and use that
Just
and
suck
put it
it
in your beauty products along with the placentas.
Mm.
This is what they're fighting to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's a little-
ridiculous. Yeah, but you were saying so it's our fault
Oh, what?
that
the
women.
chop shop?
No, not the chop shop. That's your body, your choice. That has nothing to do with me.
No, we no. The question on the table is the title question. Are men to
Title
blame for
question.
women's inflated self ego, value, worth, blah blah blah, whatever. All the dreams of grandeur that they think of themselves are men to blame for that. I'm going to Mike on that.
Okay, so Mike, I'm guessing you
I
don't-
said I was going to Mike.
Yeah,
on
so
that.
I want. Can I ask him?
I asked him a question. He can answer my question, and after he answered my question, you could raise your hand, and I'll ignore it for a minute, and then I'll say, okay, now call on you, like you in school. Okay, all right.
So I'll go. I think it is men's fault, but it's men's fault in this way. The hot topic of late has been passports.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the pushback that has been given, it's been not mostly men, but it's been too many men for my comfort.
Man,
Yeah.
Too many men for my comfort. You get a lot of men who are, their idea of it is they're women here, so why do you have to go over there? Whereas it's not like a have to, it's actually a get to be able to travel is a privilege. You actually have to have the means to do so.
and I
So-
love how you said that.
So it's a you get to do it as opposed to having to do it. To say I have to is as if I'm sentencing you to go to Brazil.
to go to Brazil and be on the beach,
Right, be on the
sipping
beach.
tequila out of a coconut with some
It's
racially ambiguous,
Racially ambiguous.
chicks that barely speak English prancing around. Why do you
cute.
have to?
Why do you have
Why
to do
are
that?
you forced to have to do that? Like, no, that's
It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. But it's like always throughout the space, everybody understands why women do that. You know, they have the resources that they're invested in. They have, you know, just
Do
companionship. Say it again.
Do I understand
Why
women do that?
they shame the guys out of doing it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Got you.
We understand why women do that. You know what I'm saying? Why women are saying, well, you just got to go over there because you can't get a woman over here. We understand. But the guys doing it, it's just like, dude, we have more options when we do it. Let's just say, let's forget everything. Options is what we have. When dudes, though, overvalue the women that are here, it really validates their delusion. You know what I'm saying? Because here it goes from Western women to American women to American black women. So now I'm thinking that these conversations are like, yeah, y'all are kind of saying black women, but you won't say it. You know, why can't you just get a black woman here? Because I can get black women from anywhere. It's like 80 million maybe women in the States. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I say, okay, 80 million women here, 2 billion women in the world? Why wouldn't I just make 2 billion women my options as opposed to just the 80 million women that are here? It's just like the more and more we validate the crazy culture that's here, the more and more that their, you know what I'm saying, ego is going to be inflated. And it's artificially inflated because it's one of those things, whereas the only reason that they feel that way is because you won't leave. You won't say, okay, cool. Because like I'm from the west side of Detroit. If I just say, well, look, I don't want a chick from the west side of Detroit. Can I go to Bloomfield? Can I go to Saginaw?
But why do you have to go to Bloomfield?
Exactly. It's
why
stupid.
do you have to go all the way to Saginaw?
It's stupid.
To get one?
It's stupid. It's the dumbest shit. And it's like, where's your limit? Is it Michigan? Is it the Midwest? Is
That's
it, you know what I'm saying? Is it the Eastern like time zone? What is your limit? You know what I'm saying? Like, right.
No, you're absolutely right. Though,
What is your limit? What is your limit? And I think that like this topic is an example of why it is men's fault, because we won't demonstrate power of options. We won't do, because you know how to make a woman act right? Leave.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Leave. You know, and most of us will not just execute or demonstrate that we will leave enough to even like put their egos in check, you know. And it's just this stand in it bull. It's this stick and stay bull. Like, it's just a bunch of nonsense, and that's our fault. But it's not our fault in the sense of we're just walking around calling them queens all day. I think that's the trash, you know, that of the 90s. But I just think it's our fault because we won't, you know, the power dynamic we keep giving to them. We don't want the power, and we should want the power on the dating market, because it's better for them. You know, I mean, it's better for everybody, really, but it makes the women kind of act right. Or you can just move on, you know?
Yeah. No, good stuff. I'm gonna skip Jackie because she was misbehaving.
You said if I do this.
No. We going to Asani. What's your take on that? It's hard to add to anything Mike said. Mike dropped the mic right there. No pun intended. But so it's hard to
please
add.
Don't drop
to
the
that.
mic. He worked really hard to set things up.
I know.
but no. What's your take on that? He related it to passport. Give me your take. I've never heard you speak on that on anything regarding passport, bros. You can speak on the question on the table. Are men responsible for women inflated egos, or the passport angle that he went with?
Okay,
go ahead. You got it.
I mean, we'll get to the passport thing in a second, but I'm gonna give it a yes and a no. It is our fault because we do give the validation unconditionally, but at the same time, you're conditioned to give it unconditionally.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? So ever since you were a little boy, whatever your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your aunt ever did to you, you can never go back to them and challenge them on it, because that's your superior.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you see these celebrities, you see these entertainers finally addressing their mother's, dysfunction, addressing their mother's nonsense for whatever they did to them growing up. And, and even as adults, the women try to scrape it under the rug or give an excuse for why they had to be that way. But mama can never be wrong. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of brothers, we don't tend to stand up because we look a lot of ladies in the eyes of mama, and it's just like, she could have, kept your dad out your life. She could have used your child support money for trips and whatever. But at the same time, you always give her that validation because she's mama. What's the Tupac from lyric from
even as a crack fiend mama, you always was a black queen mama. Always have that on deck.
And I mean, I get it sounds sweet when you're listening to the song, but logically, like, fuck you. Like, if
a
you
crackhead is a queen.
okay, like you give birth to me, fine, this, that, and the other.
I
Like,
said-
I get it. You're supposed to respect and honor your parents, but if you really did not do your best to put me in a safe environment, why should I respect you? Why should I? You know what I mean? You gave the birth, and it could have been planned, unplanned. I don't know. I wasn't there. But at the same time, back to the validation piece. A lot of times we look, because sometimes as men we look for that validation ourselves, because a lot of dudes have mommy issues. But instead of saying, let's look at mama and examine what she did, we just look at the man like, oh, he has mommy issues, but we never explain why he has them.
Mhm.
And so when we give women the validation, for some of us, you're looking for that, motherly love. For some of us, we're just, poom poom hounds that, for a lot of us, you grew up like your ability to be a man is to see how many women you can bed. So a lot of times we get into the race of, how many women can you knock down? Is it game versus no game, paying versus not paying? You see what the conversations are in this space. People get into, well, y'all going over there because y'all ain't got no game. I mean, would you rather spend the money and not have to worry about all the extras, or not spend the money and have to put in all the energy and effort into getting there? So it's just like, if we just as a collective just said, let's just back away from all together. Get away from the OnlyFans, get away from the hub, get away from wherever they're showing their bodies, and unhit the like button. Watch how people change.
Yeah.
What's the one sister? I don't know where she's from, but she's been popping up lately. Marriage is Halal, the little Muslim lady.
Ooh, what's her name?
I don't know what her name is, but her marriage is halal. Like, if you start validating the ladies who are covered, who are, not out here showing their bodies, the whole dynamic will change.
All right, we gotta stop the show for two reasons.
Why?
Hold on. Mr. Fantastic in the house with a super chat says, hold on, B. Riley got a twin cousin with a man bun.
Yes! Shout out to Mr. Fantastic.
You know what, fantastic. When I was on here before, and I was, of course, I wasn't in the studio. First thing he said is, as far as the brother with the man bun, like, he man bunned me immediately. He didn't let me get 15.
You said he
seconds
man bunned you, like he
got with the man bun immediately. Right. Nah. The blazer thing, fantastic. That was just
that was strictly on a whim. He popped in. We were like, oh, y'all got the same shit on.
Yeah,
right.
it was random. It was random.
Yeah. That was completely random.
Twinsies.
Yeah. But no, one thing. But shout out to Fantastic. Appreciate you coming through the super chat.
Thanks.
Fantastic always got the jokes.
Appreciate
it. That black queen mama, always, even as a crack female, being a black queen. I said this before. And I don't know if I did a whole show on it or I just segmented off into it, but the manosphere technically ruined Tupac's legacy. It did. It's like everything in Keep Your Head Up, everything in there, we done argued, refuted, disputed, and debunked the whole concept of the whole song is praising and celebrating them for a bunch of messed up decisions.
Yep.
It's like the manosphere just ruined Tupac's legacy, because like those some of his classic songs is like, oh damn, he was.
But again, you didn't know because you were conditioned to be like,
yeah. The conditioning was very real. I just remember the idea of the single mom being God, like just being just infallible. You couldn't say anything against it. And any time that a woman was a single mom, it was because some nigga just left. And it's like, even as a kid, even looking at it, like my older brother is probably like 7 years older than me, and just even looking at him and knowing the kind of dude that he was, like, I know he's not I'ma leave abroad, you know what I mean? I know he's not that. We weren't raised like that, you know what I'm saying? And he's just a good dude. But in my head, I'm like, something got to be true about it. I mean, I guess to some extent. And I'm looking at my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're so indoctrinated. Your conditioning has been conditioned to the point where you just don't know up from down, left from right. You know what I mean? But
yeah, no, that's exactly how it is. Shout out to JC the Conqueror in the building. Says, love to set up BR. Salute to the panel. Absolutely. Now, shout out to JC. Appreciate everybody supporting the stream. RM, if you're still listening, I sent you the link. I don't know why the StreamYard not letting you get in through the back, but I sent you the link so you could. I don't know if you could join it as just a guest and then administrate from the back. Hopefully that work out. But no, definitely the programming. The programming is real strong. One of the topics that I wasn't even trying to get into this, but we stumbled into it. The guy Young Pharaoh, who I didn't know that much about. I just know he went to war with Tommy Sotomayor for everything Tommy Sotomayor ever said about black women. And then now I think because one of his baby mamas did something to him regarding the kids. I forgot exactly how that story went, but now it's coming out. He telling the truth. He was on Tasha K talking about how his mama, grandmama, aunties, how they was all abusive in some way to him. But he was the guy that was, he was the black woman is God guy. Like that's what he was. He went from the black woman is God to basically just calling out. I mean, now he calling out everything. And Tommy Sotomayor ain't gonna let him live that shit down. Tommy Sotomayor was popping off. That's how I found out about it. Tommy Sotomayor was popping off on it because it's like basically everything that Tommy ever said was true. Okay, maybe not broadly. Obviously, the hashtag not all women. But it was everything Tommy said was specifically true for Young Pharaoh's personal life, but he was fighting against him the hardest, and that blows my mind. Like the programming, like we are that programmed to where even when it's right in our face, we don't see it. We'll fight against it. We'll defend it at all costs.
I just think a lot of these guys are really just they're. I mean, maybe it's conditioning. I think some of these guys know better. Like I just think that their dollars are attached to the women who they have to praise.
But it's dudes who don't even got a moneyed interest in the business of simping.
Well,
how do you explain them?
Well, the thing is that they're how would you put it? Their validation, like the bitch is the validator. Like to them, that's the validator. So that is their best interest still. It's still their best interest because and it is conditioning, obviously. But like a guy like a Umar Johnson, he doesn't have to do none of that stuff.
No, that's that. He's money invested.
He has to.
I'm saying he's invested.
I
take that back. He does have to do it considering what he's invested. But it's just like he knows the truth. He got doesn't he have like 2 daughters?
He has 2
baby mama drama, 2 baby
He had a moment. Somebody can those videos are dig upable of him going off in a very manospherian way about some.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you're living what we're saying. It's like enough of these guys, they're so funny. And I'm talking about the Young Pharaohs and the Umar Johnsons and so of the world. Those guys, they're living what we're saying, but they won't say it.
Yeah.
Well, he just came out and said that, when he was going to college, like he wasn't getting the same play that he's getting now. That video, that was an interview he did. I can't remember what channel he was on, but he
the
dudes
I think it was the dudes from Philly. He got like a 2-hour. It was like a 2-hour interview or something like that.
I think so, but he admitted it. He was like, when he was in the books and doing what he had to do, like he was getting no play, and so it's just like now he's gone I guess we call it the Derrick Jackson route. I mean, are you gonna really mess up your money? Just tell the truth.
Yeah, but the thing about Umar that's crazy, and I know we're like on a tangent, but the thing about Umar that's crazy is that if he had the bros on his side, he wouldn't need to do that. Because like the boys, because that's what he was supposed to be doing. He was supposed to be like campaigning for the boys, for black boys.
Yeah.
And if he was campaigning for the boys and he had the brothers on his side, he wouldn't need to do that. It's just that the money is easier. The money is easier on the other side.
I think he still has to do that.
He wouldn't have to do it if he had the brothers on the side. If he had the brothers on the side, he wouldn't need to do that. Because most of the things that he needs, I'll tell you this, he would never have to go to a white HVAC person for his school, or white electrician, or white plumber, or whatever, because he said he had to go to the white man. Essentially, that's why the stuff took so long, because he was trying to go to, to black people. He wouldn't have to do that. He would never have to do that if he was with the bros.
It ain't that hard to find a black.
Well, hold on, but
he's trying to get him to get. He's trying to get him for the cheap, for the free.
Yeah, he was saying y'all should do it for the goodness out of your heart and do it.
But if he would, but this is my thing. If he was doing what he was supposed to do, which initially was supposed to be about the black boys, if he was doing that and he had the brothers on the side, it would be an easy fix.
It would be an
easy fix. It's just like, nah, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that brothers will do that. They'll do the tax write-off, do whatever they need to do for the business and get it done. But some of this nonsense is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think so the reason why I don't really agree with that, because I think that you have to you kind of have to pander to black women just to keep them out of your way, because they'll try to sabotage that project. If it was all about just black men, they'll be like, what about us? It's like they will come in and
But why is it in your brain, if we're doing something strictly for the boys that will eventually help the girls, why would you come in and
they don't see that as eventually helping?
Hold on,
but why?
Hold on, wait. Now we got to explore that one. You said something for the boys that will eventually help the girls. Explain. I know they don't see it like that. I know where you're going, but explain that one. Explain.
Okay, so especially in the Islamic communities and a lot of these schools who have separate sexist schools, if you have the boys focus on whether sports, academics, whatever, finding what your purpose is as a boy, you don't really have time to be focused on girls. Think about it. When you were in high school, well, I went to a private school, so I won't say it went on this often, but you hear about what happens in public school. Everybody's getting it in the cafeteria and the gym. Everyone's mind is on
getting it in. But...
Okay,
what?
So the one out of the
lame.
Moving on. So you get the boys focused on career, and you when they have the argument that there's not enough economically suitable mates, which we know is a farce. But if you have them look, we have I don't know, if you would, let's say potentially he had 100 boys graduate from the school, all certified HVAC, electrician, plumbing, making money out the gate in the early 20s. You just made suitable bachelors right there and then. But for you to say it would not, well, I'll leave it at that. You would just at the end of the day.
Who are these boys raised by? They're gonna get in the way. They're all raised by women.
Right, but at the same time, the point of Umar's school was to put them in front of masculine black men.
Right, but they gotta get permission from the women to do that.
Yeah, but so
that's why he has to placate to them. That's why he has to pander to them, because they are in control of all the boys that's going to be in his school.
But at the same time, that's not going to be his only demographic, though. If I was a father, I have 3 boys myself, and if Umar said I have a school where they'll be certified in tech, electrician, plumbing, blah 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 blah, why wouldn't I get on board with that? As a dad, you know what I'm saying? The single moms are not going to be the only demographic, but if I turn around,
the majority of the boys are going to be raised by single mothers, though.
But they're not going to be the only demographic, though. And there are some women with sense that can say, you know what, let me send my son to the school, blah 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 blah. And hell, let's be real. I was very active, when my kids were younger, going to the daycare, going to the school. A lot of times the women just send their kids to school to be babysitters because they got to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just
true.
looking at it from this lens. Why wouldn't you send your kid to a school to make him better, and at the same time you're getting a break so you can focus on yourself or do whatever, blah blah blah.
But wasn't there some kind of initiative here in Detroit? What do they call it? The 300?
Oh yeah.
Didn't women come in and mess that up?
Yeah, they messed up though. They beat up not beat up, but they hemmed up the wrong guy. The wrong guy who mama would say something, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. But to your question and what you're saying why wouldn't, and the problem is the fact that you have to ask the question. So why wouldn't they just want it? Well, if that was so, if they were actually in that mindset, of which, just speaking of what Jackie said, if they were in that mindset anyway, then we wouldn't have we wouldn't even have a problem.
That's
so
fair.
I get what she's saying. The thing is that you have to kind of push through the problem. Enough times, man, you just got to fail a couple of times to kind of get stuff rolling. You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah.
Fail a couple of times. If they're going to get in the way, let's expose them for the last 3-4 times that they shut down the thing that was for black boys. You said you want better black men. We're trying to get them at boys, make them better. You shut this down and just document it. And then we talk about it like Brothers Keeper with Obama. If we can just document that, say, hey, we tried to do it. Y'all don't want to do it. So this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The problem that we run into, let's put it like this: black people, particularly black women, they do not look at it or see it at all from the perspective of you help the boys produce better men. That's how you're going to help the women. You get women, you you help them, build them up. Now they strong. You elevate them to the level of being strong and independent, not need the man. You help the boys, they become better men. They'll use all that made them better and all the resources they got to take care of women and children. No matter how you slice it or dice it, that's how it works. I think other communities basically understand that from a structural standpoint. If the boy, to some degree, the whole country is messing up on this one because they're not even looking at it as a crisis that a lot of boys, are falling behind in school at the high school level, like around middle school, high school. That's where boys start falling off real bad, and they're not even looking at that like it's a crisis. But if they did look at that as a crisis, like they're basically seeing the writing on the wall. Society is on the brink of just collapsing in terms of family structure and on whole works. So if you're asking the question, why don't they see that helping the boys is going to help the women? Black community don't think about it like that at all. Not even almost. Not even partly. They want to help the women to be all they could be, and no matter how they raise the boys, they could raise them. They could raise them to be sick, and then when they turn 18, they just want to command them to be healthy, command them to be well. Like that's how they do it.
It's a saying that, and I think it's amongst Black women. I've heard it. What was the young lady who played? Not young lady. She's not young, but she played in Richard King. Richard
King.
She played the mom.
Oh, I don't know her.
Oh, you talking about the Serena Williams, Venus Serena Williams movie? Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
He played the woman that played their mom.
The woman that played their mom, and she was on the Breakfast Club, and she was, negotiating and wanted higher pay and everything. And the point that she was trying to get to was that when you elevate Black women, it elevates everybody. They literally believe that.
I know, and that's why
it's the opposite.
They literally believe that, and that's the thing. It's not. There's no evidence of that. I mean, it's just not. You know what I mean? I've had conversations with women of which I usually just cut those off because I don't talk like this in my regular life. But whereas they just believe they're at the bottom because that's where society just put them. They just believe it. So they believe that when you raise the tide or you raise them up, this raises everybody up. And it's just like, well, when you get it, it's not like you give back. You don't give, like, you're not gonna, like, this is the mode. You make a productive guy, he becomes productive, he has resources, he can provide, protect, and lead a family. All right.
Exactly.
If I give a woman the same opportunity, you think she's gonna provide, protect for a man?
No.
And some kids? No, probably not. Like, she's probably not gonna do that. What she's gonna do is say, I want a guy who's better than me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like they even with that logic, they still believe that if you raise Black women up, then the society goes up, or everybody goes up around it.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't undo. You have to let that die off.
Here's the thing, and I totally agree with you. You take this to the animal kingdom. Let's take a pack of wolves, and they find a little. They find a little bit of roadkill.
I don't know. I thought about a lot of things. We always making animal analogies and stuff, but then the pack. I thought of that Mel Gibson pack of niggas. Whenever I hear pack, I think of Mel Gibson.
No, so you take a pack of wolves, and there's a little bit of animal carcass left. Who gets it first?
The biggest person, the
male,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
because the male hasn't have enough strength and energy to go out and kill for the rest of the family. You don't give that piece of carcass to the mother and the children, because if the man is starting to starving, his hunting skills are not going to be effective. It's the same
that
thing.
Don't apply to lions, because the female lions do the hunting. The male lion is just a jackass.
Right,
He just want that food to himself.
But in the majority,
and get back out there and hunt me some more.
Right, but for most, because the lions are an exception to the rule.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can do that in any argument. You can pick out one piece. They don't do it. But it's the same dynamic. You give that little piece to the male, so he have enough energy to go out and kill something, so he can bring it back home to the family. And in our community, we do it backwards. Mm-hmm. So the men have been starving for decades. Can't start. For the ones who are trying to get something going, the resources are deprived. The ability to work with other men have been deprived for whatever reason. And so now you're looking at it as these men are finally saying, you know what? I'm going to lead a pack. I don't want to, but I'm not being fed here. I'm not being appreciated here. So why not go start my own pack where I run things. I'm eating. I'm doing what I have to do, and whoever's willing to come into the pack, I'll take care of. But you know what I'm saying? We constantly have this idea of elevating the women for whatever reason. For whatever reason, we have this idea that we have to, to elevate them to where we are, but they're not the ones, bringing home.
They're not responsible for protecting and providing.
It's like if I'm in a business, I'm gonna pay the customer service person the same amount. I'm gonna pay the salesperson when the salesperson brings in the money for the company. You know what I mean? Like, you make sure that person eats first, but for some reason we can't get it right.
Yeah, we flip it around. Like when I ask, because a lot of these conversations they spill off into regular life. I like to ask the question: if you got just enough resources you have a daughter and a son, you have enough resources to send one to college, just enough resources, enough access, enough whatever to send one to college, son and a daughter. Who do you send?
It's always been the daughter.
It's always been
everybody does that.
But it's the daughter. But it's like, that's the dumbest thing in the world, because if everybody duplicated that, then what kind of men are you getting? Now, if we did it the way whereas we duplicated sending the boy to college, well, then we have men for the women. But the other way around, you don't have any men for the women. You have dudes who got to figure it out. And that's not the way that it should be. It should be an infrastructure. You go in this and you come out that. You know what I mean? You go in, if you're a dude, if you're Indian, like Asian Indian, you go in one thing and you come out another. They have, they're certainly, represented in the medical field. They're nurses, they're doctors, you know what I'm saying? They own a bunch of like real estate. You're talking about all your hotels and motels. Like, they own a bunch of that. It's like you go in one thing and you come out the other. They don't move in with the girls, don't move in with boyfriends, they move in with husbands.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's an infrastructure, whereas you go in one thing, you come out another, and then you create the kind of men you want. It's just like there's nothing here. And then it's like the people who argue for people to stay here in this, they're ridiculous at a certain point. It's like, what are you arguing for? Are you arguing for us to stay in, Afghanistan? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's like, you should stay in Afghanistan. It's not all that bad. Not all Afghanistans are the same.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
And it's wild. And I know I'll let you get off in a second, Jack. It's crazy. It's like, how are you going to blame me, the customer, for going to another store? If I don't like your product, if I don't like what you're putting out for me to buy, and I'm just like, you know what? I just don't like what I'm seeing here. I'm going to go to another store. How dare you, how dare you go to another store? Like, your mother or your father shopped at the store, your grandfather shopped at the store, your uncle shopped at the store. Like, why would you think you deserve better? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if I'm the consumer and you're not providing the product that I want, why not let me, first, you can't let me do anything.
Yeah.
Like, why not just let me go to another store in peace?
But this is the thing. The reason is because the shaming works. It just works. It works. Dudes have been shamed out of the option of just saying, I'm gonna pick something else, and they're being shamed out of it in the name of, we just don't, like, they'll tell you this, just don't put us down when you do it. Okay, cool. I submit to you, Big Sean. I submit to you, Jay Ellis. I submit to you, Jonathan Major. I submit to you, Michael B. Jordan, Amari Hardrick, Childish Gambino. None of these guys are saying,
all of them.
they didn't say anything.
Oh, that's a good point.
They didn't say anything. What did they say?
Oh, put Jordan Peele in there too.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
He giving like with Childish Gambino and Jordan Peele in particular. When they got money, the first thing they did was put black women on. That's the first thing they did.
Yeah.
They did that immediately. What did they say? Jay Ellis, he literally just put up a picture of him and his wife, the mother of his kids, getting married. He had to shut down this comment section. Meanwhile, we ain't said nothing about Serena. I can't even muster up enough energy to care about Serena being with that white man.
Right.
I can't. I don't care about Gabrielle Sidibe. I don't care about, you know what I'm saying, Eve. Nobody even talk about Eve. Eve with a whole like race car driver or something like that. He's super duper white. We don't care. We absolutely don't care. But they gotta care, because again, it takes away their resources. It takes away that you know, that second string quarterback that you ain't gonna really put in until the first string don't work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put this nigga in here now, you know what I'm saying? Because your throwing is cool, but and eventually they put in the second string, and it's just like that's.
But the
gone.
game's already over.
Game over.
It's the fourth quarter. You letting all your second strings run out the clock.
It's like game over.
real
None
quick.
of these. Go ahead.
Real quick. Yeah, big poke dog in the building with a $20 super chat. Do appreciate that. Sorry, y'all know I missed a lot of super chats. Conversation was interesting, but shout out to each and every one of y'all who's supporting the stream. Do appreciate it. Shout out to Ryan Decipher in the building. Says we have plenty of examples of programs centered towards black men, and most of them are either shut down or heavily criticized by black women. Absolutely. Actually, Dr. T.S.I. Johnson talks about a lot about that all the time. My brother's keeper, Robert F. Smith's student loan forgiveness for black male graduates at Morehouse, Ice Cube Platinum Plan. Actually,
I forgot about that.
That one wasn't even black male specific. That one just said black people. And they was like, no. We want something specific for black women. But all the things in there for black people, we still gonna eat off of that, but we want our own separate plate over here too. It's like that was basically their argument. That was basically their argument.
All about that.
Yeah,
me too.
The Robert Smith thing.
Wait, hold on. Let me just hold your thought. Let me get to some more.
I was gonna get to that
more super chats. Shout out to Leo Anthony. He didn't super chat it, but I did catch it. I'm barely catching the comments down there. But he said he's looking for an emoji with a man bun. He is trying to find a man bun emoji. So we
all right, man.
Hopefully
y'all get like 5 more of those. Y'all get like 5 more of those.
Hopefully
okay?
we get
y'all don't
that
understand
done.
how much I appreciate this.
Y'all get 5 more.
It takes the heat off me.
Only reason, look, I did this to take all the heat off of her. You know what I'm saying? I let him talk about my pants. I let him talk about my man bun, and I was his twin. Like, come on, man.
Yo, he came in here without the bun, but he was like,
I had to put it.
He had to put it up. Yeah.
I still don't know how black people hair get. I didn't know black people hair could do that. Anyway, Nuruddin in the building. He says, but no, remember what happened to Robert F. Smith? Yeah, I think we just another super chat just mentioned that. He said, now I remember what happened to Robert F. Smith. Got paid all the tuition of all those black men in Morehouse. Look at how the black women treated him. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. We also got who else we got in here? Black Wolf Inc. in the building says we stepping on up in this biatch. Absolutely. Says congratulations, Captain. Shout out to you, Black Wolf. Do appreciate you. Black Wolf, one of my day ones. Shout out to you. I'm gonna go back and try to catch every one that I missed. I think I got all of them. I think I got all the super chats. I'm pretty sure. That's fantastic. Oh, that's another man bun comment from Fantastic. That was an old one. That one already happened.
Gotta remix the man bun comment.
Hey, yo, Bernard, whatever happened to you doing the theme songs for people who donated?
I just stopped doing that because I got tired of it, but I bring
Snuggles
it back.
And Black Wolf.
I gotta
Snuggles. What happened to Snuggles?
Yeah, she
be asking for the link, or he be asking. I don't know.
But
I do my live.
Asking for the link, right?
Just identify as Snuggles.
Yes. Snuggles.
Non-binary.
Yeah. No, for real. Because somebody exposed, like, we thought Snuggles was a woman, and somebody exposed that she was a man. I don't know what Snuggles is, so I just it's all good. It's just get kind of weird, but but anyway, I don't know what's going on there. But you was about to say something, Mike, and
Robert Smith was amazing is that, and it goes back to the conversation of if you have a daughter or a son and you have the resources to send one to college, which one would you pick? It should be the guy all the time, but obviously they picked the man. I forget how many. Let's say it was 100. You know what I mean? I'm sure it was more than 100, but let's just say it was 100 just for sake of argument. 87% of the time we're picking black women, so that's 87 black men who are probably going to pick black women. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They didn't think about that. They just bypassed that. He also paid off I think the student loans for the parents too, of which again,
I know that
big deal. You know what I'm saying? That's a very big deal.
Right.
You know what the headline was? You know what the story was? The story was, one, he has a white wife, and then 2, can you be pro-black and still have a white wife? Can you be pro-black with a white wife? That was the conversation. It wasn't that 87 of those guys. 87 of those guys are likely going to pick. You know what I'm saying? That's what they got, likely going to pick black women. You know what I mean? That's what the average is, around 87%. And that means that 87 families are going to be okay because these guys are starting off. And that was in 2019, right before the pandemic, too. So it's like he set those guys up for success. You got a degree, don't have student loan debt, you're young, go out there, conquer the world. And nobody, and that's
some of those. He actually gave scholarships to some women too, because my friend, she goes to Morehouse School of Medicine, which is co-ed. So he gave it to Morehouse and Morehouse School of Medicine, which has some women there. It's a medical school. So they weren't even satisfied. They weren't even satisfied with that. It's like some women even got some of the scholarships.
Yeah, speaking of HBCUs, I remember you said something before. Didn't they like?
Oh, she ended
take
up
her money, like the money that Robert Smith gave the school, like took it for themselves.
Yeah, they took it for herself. She never got the scholarship. They just took the money and said we need it for like infrastructure. So they never gave it to her.
So corruption, a little corruption.
Yeah.
Ed Reed, Deion Sanders, anybody?
That's why I brought it up. I was about to throw it right back to that.
Got it.
That Deion Sanders topic. Yeah.
Right. Deion, it's so crazy. Like anybody saying, I mean, the more and more information we get, the more and more it just looks like, yeah, Deion got out of there just in the nick of time. Mm-hmm. But it's like anybody thinking that HBCU, I don't agree with just going to even a PWI and holding that over people's heads and being like, yeah, I have a degree, unless it's like actual tech degree. I don't believe in any degree that doesn't have a math requirement. I just think you're just going to the 13th grade to me. You know what I'm saying? If you go to a school and you're doing communications or something like that.
All right. What about people who got fashion degrees?
I knew you were gonna do that.
Fashion degrees, 13th grade.
But I took a math class.
A math class?
What was that math class?
What was it?
Algebra.
Wait, algebra or pre-algebra?
I took algebra. That's like 9th grade, ain't it?
Or remedial algebra.
13th grade.
Okay, so I don't just have a fashion degree. I have a marketing degree too.
13th grade.
No.
13th grade.
Because
man.
I took algebra, I had to take accounting. I had to take a finance class. For business degrees, you have to take accounting.
Those two, hold on.
Finance class.
But those two in particular that you mentioned after algebra, those are not math classes.
Finance class and accounting, is that?
Okay.
Accounting.
Okay, what kind of
taking a class versus a degree
you have to take
in something?
Accounting classes.
I think no matter what you get a degree in,
you have to take accounting and finance.
No matter what you get a degree in, you do have to take some kind of math in college, right?
Yeah, but with business, you have to take more than a normal person.
This is what I'm asking. What is the
major.
level of math that you're taking? What is the level of
have
math?
To take stats too.
I'm asking you this. What is the level of math that an accounting class or a business class requires? Is it arithmetic? Is it adding and subtracting?
Yeah.
Right. So it's not. So it's not even level. Of
You're not solving quadratic equations.
And I don't need you to solve quadratic equations. I need you to at least be doing real algebra, because you use algebra in your regular everyday life.
Yeah, you use real algebra in algebra class.
Let me explain it like this. Because
13th
this was one of the first times she came up on my show. Well, no, it wasn't the first time. But she had a lot of sisterhood energy that day.
I did not.
Because I had Keep It Techie on here, and we was talking about how they was trying to change STEM into STEAM.
Let's go.
Like add arts into STEM, and she came up and made the case for that arts need to be in there with what is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. She was saying that the arts need to be in there to make it STEAM, because that's what they actually trying to do. And her argument is that when you're doing fashion and you're making clothes and you're making patterns, you gotta basically do geometry.
I would argue this.
That's not my whole argument.
That was your argument.
That wasn't the whole
that when
argument.
you doing patterns,
I said
that you have to do math.
Artistic people are innovative, so having that a part of science.
No, that was somebody else's argument. You was trying to rep your when you make patterns in clothes, you have to do geometry, and then I probed a little bit, and then we got down to the bottom of it. You basically got to know high school geometry in order to do that.
I would say this: any degree that you can kind of bypass, like for example, a business degree. Do you really go to get a business degree to learn how to own your own business?
No, I mean I don't really use it.
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's like these degrees, they're useless. And getting back to my point, the idea that this black man set up all of these black men to be successful should be the story, but it's never the story, because again, and then going back to the original question, we validate their disdain for the guy who's doing the thing that he's supposed to be doing. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're a black man. You're supposed to say, okay, cool. I was a black boy once upon a time. Let me hook up these black boys so they can be productive black men.
Right.
He does that and tries to solve your problem of ain't no man on my level. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is broke. They ain't got no job. Woo, woo, woo. He's trying to solve your problem, and he's solving your problem, and then you still have nothing. But he got a white wife.
But I don't think you can be pro-black and be with a white wife, because
you can be pro-black and have a white husband.
Yeah, I think so, but I think it's because of the way the pro-black set it up. It's like worshiping. Worshiping. It's like worship. It's about worshiping black women. So,
wait, hold on. Are you talking about the internal logic of their whole
the
paradigm?
way they see it.
I get it.
Okay, I don't see how you can be pro-black and do that.
If you're talking about,
it goes against their like tenets. You got to worship the black women. So if you're worshiping them, why are you not with them? I don't think you can. To them, I don't think you can be pro-black and be with a white woman.
First of all, you shouldn't be worshiping any woman, but go ahead.
Exactly. Right.
For starters.
Right.
But that conversation again, that's us letting the woman be the validator, and that only works here. And look, I love like.
Wait, let me do a programming thing really quick. Hold on, just hold your thought. All right, RM in the back when you put the banners up. If I have this camera angle, you could put that banner up right there. But when I go with this camera angle, you have to remove that banner. Okay. You got to drop that one. All right.
Why you drop that one?
You're messing up the ambiance of the show.
The ambiance of the show.
When you do that. All right.
Goodness me.
All right. Okay. All right. So
remove.
All right. Okay. So keep in mind over here.
Oh, because they want to see my sweater.
Yeah, they want to see. Okay. If I go here,
they gotta see.
You could see that works. That works. If we go over here, if we put it, go back. When we put it not here, okay, that's fine too. That's fine. But when we go here, yeah, okay. Now that doesn't work. All right. Okay.
It's Casimir.
Because nobody be able to see his
Casimir.
Cashmere
sweater.
Okay, yeah, nobody be able to see his cashmere sweater. All right. Okay. Anyway, all right. Carry on, Mike.
I'm this in real life. But what was I saying? What was that? No. We're continuing to let the woman be the validator in every aspect of life, and like then we can't lead that way. It's like we're leading from behind, and a lot of what is going on now.
No, I'm just laughing.
Okay.
You just talking.
Oh, you're so petty. Okay, cool. Yeah. We're leading from behind. So when the title question, you know what I'm saying, are we to blame? It's like we're always going to be to blame if we don't just, again, it's just a matter of saying, like, look, if you're not acting right, Maria will, it's just a matter of just saying, if you don't act right, Maylene will, or shoot, go overseas, whatever. Like anything that gives you more options, gives you more power, and gives you more negotiation, or better negotiation. And we're just not.
That's okay.
Yeah, this idea that we're not even engaging in a way that is for black men having more options, really just it's all trash. It all puts us at a disadvantage, at the end of the day.
Right on. All right, shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure hit the like button. Appreciate everybody who's supporting the streams thus far.
Banner. That's funny.
What?
Remove the banner. That's funny.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
The ambiance.
Yeah, got to get the ambiance in the room correctly. All right, moving on. I think we covered that. We bounced around quite a bit. Another thing that I had on the list of things, because I didn't go live or didn't do. I mean, I was doing behind the scenes setup stuff, so I wasn't really live this week. One of the things that I didn't get to talk about, the DJ Envy, he just very casually, flippantly brought up his wife going on a 3-week girls trip. I'm like, I
Where's
be
she
talking.
going?
Who knows, man?
I don't. It's probably the same place the passport bros be going to. She
Right.
probably
Right.
she's still trying to get her groove back. That's probably
Cock carousel. That's
Yeah,
what
get
she
one
doing.
of those massages they be doing.
yeah, those Jamaican massages. I did some content on that. What do they go down there? They get lathered up in some little white foamy soap looking stuff, but then. After they done getting lathered, everything, the whole chest, whole body covered. Like dudes is paying for chicks to go on vacations to get all
Get
groped
fondled.
up in.
Get fondled,
and-
there you go.
Get
yeah,
fondled.
yeah, you're paying to get your chick fondled. But let's talk about that. The girls trips, and I relate this to the past. I probably should have put passport bros something in the title, but I got tired of talking about it. But we end up circling back to it because this is like lightweight connected to it. More girls got more women, particularly black women, got more passports than black men. They traveling to a lot of the same islands.
Mhm.
They go into a lot of those same places. They technically doing a lot of the same things. So when we talking about his like a dude like DJ Envy who has a history of simping, he's somebody who will more or less pretty much. I mean, I've never heard him speak on Passport Bros, but I'm pretty sure he'll be critical. I'm pretty sure given his track record, I'm pretty sure he'll be critical. But he's just very flippantly casual about his wife being what they call, passport hoes. Is that the term?
Passport hole.
Passport sis.
No.
No, that doesn't
Oh.
that doesn't
No.
roll off the tongue. Yeah, you ruined that. That's that doesn't
But-
roll. Passport hoes is wonderful. Passport broads, like bros broads.
Yeah, passport bros might work.
Passport
But,
bros,
yeah.
passport hoes.
Yeah,
I like hoes. I mean, I like that for the title.
Crazy hoes.
No. I like that for the title,
Oh.
for the name, not for my life. Not for my life.
No, you already outed yourself earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Crazy hoes? No.
You're not gonna live that down.
you
on
said
me,
you
but
like
I'm
them
sorry.
crazy, but what you do now? You got is crazy not the point of contention. Is hoes? Is the you okay with crazy women, just not crazy hoes?
My
Like,
crazy got a cap. I'm talking about like just a little, a little difficult. A little difficult. Not crazy. Not Jada crazy. Not Krishan Rock crazy.
I low key think that most men don't like. They want some difficult women. That's what I think.
there's
I got a line.
Because I don't know. It just seems like y'all get so excited about that.
well, okay. Do they want difficult women, or are they conditioned to tolerate nonsense? Now we
he
mentioned
is actually asking for a difficult woman.
we
I
mentioned
said I have a bar. I have a line that I just, a line. It's a line. It's degrees of it.
Mm.
It's degrees.
I got no interest in it. I got literally no interest in crazy at all. But I think what it is, if we're not talking about somebody like Blueface, who clearly stirred the pot of the crazy stuff that go on with him and the chick who I never heard of until I saw them fighting on the internet. So other than situations like that, I think a lot of dudes are more so conditioned to deal with crazy and not identify it for what it is. I think they're gaslit into thinking that, if they were a better man, she'd act right. That's the type of stuff people come on here and say. So I think that's a big part of it. I don't think dudes just be wanting.
I think they like the excitement.
Before Ed clown me because I know I said I like crazy women, I'm joking. Before he even does anything.
Oh, Ed is in the chat.
He's in the chat.
He about to go on a whole
Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking because he said everything because I frequent Ed's content. Ed is dope, and he was like everything after she's crazy that happens to you is your fucking fault.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
no, that's real talk.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's absolutely
100%.
100%.
But do
real
y'all
talk.
think y'all are different? Like you're like a small percentage of men that like I don't know. Like a lot of men I see, it's just like they're so excited about that crazy.
Because this is the thing, like I don't have a horrible relationship with my kid's mom. It's pretty normal. I stay out of her way, she stays out of mine, type of thing. Would women see a crazy baby mama as? They see it as validation that you're valuable and you're wanted. So that you must
I
have,
think
like,
that's
if
true.
your woman is not smashing your windows, then your dick must be mid. You know what I'm saying? At best, it's mid. It's trash, probably, but it's
we've
mid.
heard that argument. People have been on panels and
Right.
have said
So
that
the idea,
guy who somebody in this space who don't have kids, a woman basically said that why you ain't got none. Something must you that age and don't got no kids yet. The basic long story short, no woman thought enough of you to make sure she got pregnant by you so she could keep you in her life.
Right.
Like you are that trash that no woman wanted to trap you.
Right.
That's how
you're not even
that's how they process that.
You're not even trappable. What is you? Now, but to me, that's the conditioning. So it's like it's something that we reflect or project that we think that messing with the crazy woman then makes us, kind of validates us to see she's crazy about me. But it's just like,
exactly.
dude, it's not.
That's what I see.
It's like I joke and I kid, like I'm
She crazy
more
about
conservative than anything. But like the reality of it is that, like my relationship with my kid's mom, like when I tell people like we're not like that, I stay out of her way. Like you'll probably like real talk. You probably, if I'm dating a woman, she probably doesn't see my kid's mom because we communicate via text most off. If it's something with the kids, obviously we got to see each other. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like for the most part, I don't even see her. I drop the kids off at our house. I don't go in. I barely go in the driveway. I don't want to because really she has a life. And if she wants to date and move on, me being around ain't going to help her. You know what I'm saying?
I like that drive. I tried to develop a rule. I stuck by it that no getting out of the car when kids are being dropped off. If the kids are old enough to walk, just don't. There's no reason that no reason you need to get out the car at my house. There's no reason for me to get out the car. I'm a firm believer in that. 2 hands on the wheel, like you in
Two hands on the wheel. 10 and 2,
like you in a traffic stop. Yeah,
10 and 2. The couch is behind you. No, yeah, but
I'm like for both parties, 10 and 2 hands on the wheel. Let the kids get themselves out the car and carry their own bag.
Dude, I got teenagers, so that's been that for a very long time. So for me, it's like the crazy is validation that you're valuable, you're worth something. She'll go crazy over you. She wants you back or something like that. And I don't personally, I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want that. I don't want to create because it doesn't do anything but cause problems. I would rather her just if she's gonna move on. And then I'd be on this side, and if she's happy over there, then I can be happy over here.
Like there's healthy ways to do crazy. I don't mean to get all sappy, but it's healthy ways to do crazy stuff. Like a chick who no, what I'm saying. Okay, this is crazy. If you just
know where this going.
No, this ain't going nowhere crazy. If you casually say that you like something and the chick is just crazy about you, and then she just go buy you a lifetime supply of the shit, it's like I've seen similar things like that happen. I'm looking at that like, okay, you crazy. I just said I like Reese's peanut butter cups. I didn't need a big ass, you didn't have to fill up a room with them. Like, this fucking crazy. But it was sweet from the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Functional crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So that's why what you're saying about that shows that this chick is crazy about you. I've seen some crazy about a chick can be crazy about a dude without busting his windows, So that's why I'm like, it's never an excuse to be dealing with crazy. Never. Let me get to some of the super chats. Leo Anthony in the building says a combination of social media plus simps and tricks have inflated women's ego and expectation to an astronomical degree. Do you think most modern day women are holding out for their fantasy man? To ask that question is to answer. Well, I'll say this. Holding out for it, a lot of them, I would say they want to live their life. They just want to live their life, and then once they get to the point to where they nowhere near qualifying for the fantasy man, then they want them. But I don't even think a lot of them truly don't even want it, in my opinion.
I think it's this. Living your life or telling people that you want a thing that's like, maybe elaborate, maybe, it's reachable, whatever. But saying that I want, or you want 6-foot Jesus walking on water in Gucci flip-flops, which is what they want. That's what they want with a 6-pack, you know what I'm saying? And making 6 figures. But saying that you want that sort of gives validation to everything that you do, good or bad. Cause it's like, oh, you're working toward a goal. Mm-hmm. Everything is working toward a goal. Or I want to open like when you hear people talk about owning their own business, and it's just this random like idea of owning your own business. And then they start a YouTube or start like an Instagram, and then it dissolves, and then the Instagram is just her just showing her ass, of which, you know what I mean? But it's all in the name of this business. It validates everything when you put the goal of this kind of man, 6 foot Jesus with a 6-pack walking on water and Gucci flip-flops. When you put that guy as the goal of your like dating life, it validates everything. And they keep that guy as the North Star, if you will. And they don't want him. They want him as a symbol of, this is what I'm working toward, you know, as opposed to actually doing the thing. Because I don't believe these women want. If they had 6 foot Jesus in front of them, they wouldn't dare. You know what I'm saying? Want to be? They wouldn't listen to him.
Right.
They'd be like, oh, but I'm 6 foot Jesus. I'm actually 6 foot Jesus.
I don't think they want him, like you said.
I don't think they don't want him. I think they want him on their terms. And you can't get 6 foot Jesus on your terms, and they know that. That's why they don't pick guys like with all the guys with corporate jobs and, you know, with degrees and things of that nature that exist. You would think that they could find one. Look at this. They're in these colleges. They're kicking ass and taking names, so they say. It's like you in the college with the dudes who are productive, who are projected to be, you know how they say, he has potential.
Right.
You know what potential means? I think we all know what potential means. It's a dude that she would fuck anyway, hoping that he'll do better. That's it. It's not really actual potential, because if it was potential, a dude in his 4th year of college in some tech degree, that's actual potential. That's like, you know, you're there. That's potential energy. He's about to be whatever he's going to be. They don't want potential. So it's like, if I'm to believe that, then why not be with the guy? The guy is there already. You don't have to go anywhere. You're already going to U of M or wherever you're at, Michigan State, the second number 2 party school in the universe. You're already there. So why not just pick the guy? They don't want the guy. They want the guy as a symbol to justify whatever they're doing. Well, I'm holding out for him. I'm holding out for 6 foot Jesus. They want him, but only on their terms and only as a symbol.
I don't think they want him.
I think they do.
I think they say they want him because it's leverage against all the other guys. You'll never be good enough. If they want that guy, you always have to be jumping through hoops because you're not that guy. Well, so I don't even think they even want that guy. It's just to help them.
I agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying want him as in want him. I'm saying want him as a symbol. Like he's right here, and then I'm gonna use him as a symbol to date. So I want 6 foot Jesus, and this is my standard, and I'm not gonna lower my standards for anybody. He's the symbol of their standards. And then they use that on the dating market to kind of like navigate the dating market, to use him as, well, you're not 6 foot Jesus. So what are you talking about? I deserve 6 foot Jesus.
I deserve that.
Yeah, they don't want him. They want him as a symbol so that they can, you know, carry and not actually carry him around, but
it's for self-esteem. Like I deserve this perfect guy, and it boosts your self-esteem. So when guys don't match up to it, it's like, yeah, you don't deserve me.
Standards are funny to me. It's like I never understood standards that are not in any way close to what you qualify for. It's like you can never go into the Benz dealership and say my standards are. They would look at your credit score.
Yep.
They would look at your down payment, and they would say, so you have a 462 and a half credit score. And a half. Like I don't know where you got the half, man. But what is your your down payment? Oh, no down payment. They would politely grab you by the scrape of your drawers and the nape of your neck and Jazzy Jeff you out the fucking dealership and send you to no money down, no credit, no problem. Like that's where you need to be. And what you qualify for is way more important than your standards, because the market determines really your value, not you. You can set the price all you want to. You know what I mean? And what we've allowed women to do is the clean slate theory of I know my worth. You know, the Brittany Renner shit. I've been ran through and now I know my worth. It's like, man, if you knew your worth, you would know that you can't do that with value. Right. You know, the only way to do that with value, you can't reset the miles on the engine. You know, it's 400,000 miles on this motherfucker. Like you can't reset the odometer. The odometer. Yeah. You're gonna reset the odometer, and then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say, okay, then that's too. And this is the thing.
That's
it's not
her truth, though.
Yeah, it's not like it's not.
Said that's her truth. Man, go.
Yeah, you gonna walk home. Walk all the way
Guess
back.
I'm not getting back to Atlanta.
Right. So, but this is my thing. We only allow that here. Every other culture, they have holes. I'm pretty sure this, but they put their holes where they go. It's just like the holes go here. You know what I mean? So even if you're talking about overseas, of which I've never been to Brazil, I've never been to all these places, but I would imagine on some level, because they exist in patriarchy, that they put the holes in whole place. It's like, you're a hoe and this is what you're doing.
Right.
And these over here are the women who are not hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with like we're not too far, well, I'm not too far from Dearborn. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there are some, Lebanese women who are, who might be hoes, you know what I'm saying? That exists, but they put them where they go.
Yep.
They put them right where they go. They like, you this and you decided that, so you over here. Some of them, and enough of them, well, not only are they not covered, I don't think they can be covered, but like some of them not covered. You know what she is.
Right.
Yeah, they do have hoes. There's hoes in every culture, but they put them where they go. Only here do they get to say, well, now I want to be a wife. It's like,
you get to do a whole rebranding of yourself.
Yeah, you don't get to rebrand the coochie. Like, I don't can't rebrand the coochie. The coochie is it's the same coochie that Jamal got for the freezy. Got it for the freezy, and now I gotta pay the feezy. No, I'm not paying the fee.
All right. Black Wolf Inc. in the building. Well, you sent another super chat earlier, said something about passport holes, but I think you just elaborated right here. What he said. But he says a passport broad is a woman that is going with her man. A passport cis is a woman with family. Passport hoe, no, he said passport hoe is the ones going with friends. That is an interesting distinction. I see what you did there.
There was one.
I see. No,
I think
like
he just made that up, but if he did,
that's good.
That's good.
I dig it. I can dig it. Yeah. Sir Tice in the building says, "Yo, just joined. Love the studio. What up, Mike, Jack, Bernie, and the other brother? That's Coach Ali. RM. Look, he ain't been doing no content, but still drop his link in the chat room. Drop his link in the chat room. Go to just type in Coach Ali. Pretty much
Coach Ali's corner. Yeah,
Coach Ali's corner. See, I forgot my damn self. Yeah, type in Coach Ali's corner. It should pop up, and you should be able to see his channel. And drop that in the chat room, and drop Mike and Jackie's channel in the chat room as well.
I'm not on camera.
I know, but I couldn't see you because I'm looking right here. I could hear you. No. The problem is I could hear you smile when I said that.
Like,
yeah, it's like her smile had a sound effect.
You could hear her smile. That's funny.
But
that's funny.
But shout out, my man Sir Tice says, "Love the progression." Shout out to you, Sir Tice. Do appreciate you coming through. Shout out to everybody supporting the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Edward Anderson in the building. He says this convo is a resource. Is a what?
It's a resource conversation at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, he dropped the C. I do that too. Little typo, no big deal. But but all right. So we had a couple more topics. I forgot what the topics were we about to get into. Anybody had anything to say about what the last thing we were just talking about? If anybody want to jump in on that before I switch gears. Anybody?
Switch gears.
All right. Concept. Let's tease this one out. We raise boys to stay away from gold diggers. We always tell boys, hey, you got to stay away from gold diggers. But we also teach women to tell women to look for providers. Is there some contradiction and hypocrisy in that one, in those two concepts? Coach Ali, go ahead. You got it first on that one. Oh, we got to think on that one.
I do. It's because there's a line in between it, because there's a difference between a gold digger looking for a provider. Because when I'm providing, because I was married, and when you are providing, there's a condition that I'm providing for you, but at the same time you got to make home. You know what I'm saying? Compared to a gold digger, kind of wants the lifestyle where I'm giving you, money, but you're not cooking, you're not cleaning. The kids go to daycare, like you're just on Rodeo Drive all day long, just racking up, credit card debt. There's a context as where a gold digger is looking for strictly a resource, but a provider, is more, when a woman's looking for a provider, it's someone to give them the stability contingent on their, being a wife, mother, XYZ. But I still got to ponder on that one. So let me come back.
All right.
So
Well,
it's like an exchange, exchanging the resources for wifely duties.
yeah, and I think
And
that
with gold digger, they're not exchanging anything. They're just extracting.
Let's
from
go with
the man.
that for now.
yeah, the value exchange I think is the point of either, because I guess you're talking about a provider versus a trick. And of course we're trying to, keep our boys away from gold diggers because we don't want them to be tricks. But if you're raising women who are out to get the bag, so to speak, then it really, especially when, like, I would ask a woman, are you the kind of woman that you would want your son to be with? Does your trying to get the bag, needing 6 foot Jesus, all of that stuff, does that fit what you about to say?
I was just about to ask, did you make up the concept of 6 foot Jesus?
I think I
is
did.
that's original?
I think that's original.
Okay, I was just curious. Go
Yeah,
go ahead, carry on.
I want to make sure that gets into the ether.
Yeah.
So 6 foot Jesus, going 6 foot Jesus, demanding 6 foot Jesus. Is that really? Are you the kind of woman that deserves the kind of man you want your son to be? And vice versa. Like, so that when we're raising kids to kind of like stay away from gold diggers, it's like, who's raising them anyway? Probably their mom, who is, I'm not saying all moms are gold diggers, or all black women are gold diggers, but not all basketball players are tall, so whatever. But
Right.
It's like, it's not a contradiction, because the idea is the distinction between provider and trick. So it's not a contradiction, because I think we know what these words mean. I just think we use them. I don't agree. Like Ed just said something recently. Like, if you're spending money on a date with any chick, you kind of tricking. And I sat with that for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, because enough of these women have a guy in their phone that they're giving coochie to for the freezy. And if they're giving it to him for the free, and you're paying for dates to get the same product, you're kind of tricking.
Price gouging, yep.
Yeah, the price gouging. Because I'd be damn if I go to Foot Locker because it said buy one get one free, and then I'm like, yeah, I got my LeBrons, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna get some Air Max. Those are gonna be the ones for $150. I'm gonna get those for free, right? You know what I'm saying? And then I go up to the front and they say, yeah, full price for you though.
Right.
I'd be like, fuck these shoes and this Foot Locker. I'd never go to Foot Locker again. That's what they're trying to do. And it's like, what they're trying to do is say, not my son. Everybody else's son, obviously, but just not my son. You know what I'm saying? It's
they like the game. They want to keep the game going, but they don't want their son to
But their
fall
son is
into
exempt
it.
from all.
right.
Right.
It's not my son. And that's the thing. It's like with like a lot of women see themselves in Sierra, but they don't see their sons in Russell.
Right.
And the point of that, like, I always hate when dudes say, oh, Russell's a simp. It doesn't matter if he's a simp. He's essentially 6 foot Jesus. He did everything right. He graduated college. He's a successful football player, was the highest paid player, stay out of trouble, no kids out of wedlock, church going, you know what I'm saying? Objectively speaking, I mean, I think women would say he was handsome, whatever.
Yeah,
He did, but he did everything right. And the best we have to offer him is the third baby mama of some former D-boy. That's the best we have to offer him. It's like, yeah, if you see yourself as Sierra.
We heard that when Mike alluded to Russell Wilson of what's supposedly being handsome. Jackie said real low. So
I mean, he's just okay. A lot of women
so
think
future,
Russell
you
looks
more
goofy looking.
No, don't speak for a lot of women.
No.
Like
no.
Conversations with women about his looks,
No.
they think he
You
looks
quit
goofy.
putting the collective of women in the hot seat. You the one said he alright. So
You're not my type.
Oh
How
wow.
about that?
Who is your type? 6 foot Jesus with dreads, huh? 6 foot Jesus with dreads,
No, I
Gucci
don't-
flip
And the
flops,
Gucci flip flops, walking on water.
Walking on water. That has to be your
I
type.
can't explain my type because I'm a woman. I don't know how to explain it.
You know what?
I just know it when I see it.
You know what
like,
you do
that's
a lot
not
of
my
times.
type.
You know what you do a lot of times, and it's cool. I mean, maybe you're doing it purposely. What you'll do is that you'll use the things that we say about women to get out of the thing that we're saying about women. You know what I'm saying? You use it.
You're right.
Yeah.
But
why,
we're not.
Why would I try to escape from the truth?
So you know what the problem is. You don't want to solve it.
What do you mean? What's the problem?
The problem would be that I don't know what I want.
I do. I know when I see it.
No, you said that you can't describe it.
Like, yeah,
and I don't necessarily need you to describe
I
it.
don't
That
need you
ain't
to
that
point
ain't
at
that
a
ain't
guy.
really, you know, my thing, trying to make you pin down exactly what your type is. But it is interesting if Russell Wilson, who is, like he said, should technically be six. Well, he like 6 foot Jesus without the swag. He's 6 foot Jesus, but like, what did you say? 6 foot Jesus walking on water in
With Gucci flip-flop.
Gucci flip flop. He don't got the Gucci flip flop.
But see, this is the problem I have. Then it's like, okay, cool. Describe to me the dude that you would want. You will probably describe. I mean, without the look, you know what I'm saying? Because Russell Wilson is an undersized quarterback. He's about 5'11", maybe 5'10". So he's not 6 foot actually. But it doesn't matter. You describe me a dude that you would want that would make you comfortable with saying, yes, I would take this dude. You probably describe a guy like Russell Wilson. The guy, the I'm in church in front of my pastor answer. The Steve Harvey asked me answer. That answer, you would probably say a Russell Wilson type. The problem is that we gave him Sierra, and she won't sit her ass down. She won't stop twerking. She can't stop twerking. She just won't. And like, that's who we gave him and said, this is for the culture.
No, that's not what we gave him. That's what he picked.
Ma'am.
And that goes back to the topic of the show. Like, he picked her.
The problem is that every woman should be like, more women should be like, that's bullshit. If that was my son, I wouldn't let her within 10 feet of him.
Yeah, they praise, celebrate,
No,
and
you know
do.
why
They
you're
do.
not
They
saying
praise,
that? 'Cause they
celebrate.
wanna be
They pray.
there.
Whoa. Okay. They praise, celebrate, and do backflips for Sierra getting Russell. That's basically them saying, yes, we could be ratchet. We could get knocked up by Thuggo. We could do all of that, and yes, we could still get the perfect guy. None of them are. Mike's point is that none of them are stepping back saying, wait a minute, that ain't how that's supposed to work. But the fact that they love that it worked that way, that's them basically just, saying that, yes, we want to do hood rat shit with our friends and then still win in the end. So that's.
But I kind of disagree. I think the way that they think about it is supposed to work out that way.
Well, yes,
because they see Future as like a villain. So it's like Future
They don't see him as a villain. That's their hero. Future is the hero of that story to them.
No, they see him like what Future. What
he's
Future did to her. Yeah, it's all about what Future did to her.
Okay.
So she got saved by the nice guy. So they don't see that as a bad thing. It's like, oh, Sierra got saved by the good guy. They think.
Do you think they looking at it more so as Sierra was a victim?
Yeah.
And she got saved?
Yeah.
I interpret it as they looking at it as, yes, it's breeding a culture of we could do what we want, have whatever past that we had, and a good, decent, respectable man is going to treat us decently and respect us still.
No,
it's basically them.
Like
they're making the Amber Rose argument. That's really what they're doing. That's really what's going on there.
Right. And the less situations like that, the better. Which goes back to the original question: is it our fault? Yes, it's our fault because we keep letting that be okay. And for the dudes who are the silent majority or whatever, that kind of knows that this is kind of messed up. It's like we have to, on some level, just start saying, yeah, that's not okay. Not because I think he's a simp, because classifying him as a simp, I don't think solves the problem. And I don't even think that that's even the problem to begin with. I don't care if he's a simp. He did everything right. Will Smith did everything right, and you gave him Tupac's leftovers. I don't want that to kekeep happening, because eventually my kids are going to be 6 foot Jesus. And I want my kids to be
nigga, you ain't 6 foot Jesus.
I want my kids to be. I haven't put I gotta let my hair down.
They will be.
When I let my hair down, I'll be 6 foot Jesus.
But I'm just trying to figure out how your hair could let down. How does that? But you need to show us your 23andMe and see how much other ancestry you got in you. Because if you, I ain't gonna ask you to do it.
I'm
All
not.
I know
probably.
is whatever you do to make that poof ball stay up there, if you like untangle it and your shit just fall down and you do it like this, Yeah, God damn it, something ain't right.
I'm black. My mom has a decent grade of hair. That's it. It's not. I'm the ooh, he has good hair guy. I'm not a but I'm just I'm regular. I'm still black. I'm black and black. Both my parents.
He's
is
black with a little Troy Polamalu in there.
Yeah, a little bit. Probably. I don't know. I would never do a 23andMe, so because I don't even care. I don't even care to know. But what was I saying? No, I want my kids to eventually be the best version of a man that they can be, and I don't want that to be the norm for them to be dealing with the leftover with the women who did the wrong thing.
I know. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
because a lot of times we always get, and this is where guys get out the church, is that we get into this idea we always have to be the I can't think of the word right now, but we always have to be the righteous. We always have to be the forgiving. We always have to be the caring, the kind, the service people. Like I can't think of the word, but it's just like when at some point, if I did everything right, why do I not get the I won't say the top of the top, because obviously
just get what I qualify for.
Right.
If I did everything right, like for me, I went to school, I stayed out of trouble, I didn't have kids out of wedlock. I'm a kind guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm nice to people. I don't have anything in my past that somebody brought up and they would say this, you know what I mean, or that. I did everything you told me would get me the thing. I did everything right. I'm supposed to get the thing. You know what I mean? Whatever the thing is, I did everything right. I'm just showing up. See, as you can see, I did everything right. This is my resume or my application of did everything right. Where is my, as Sergeant Willie Pete says, where's my Kerry Washington? Where is the woman that is at the end of that? And that's not what this culture does. This culture doesn't give you that at the end of it. And not necessarily Kerry Washington, because I don't know if she's out of her fucking mind either. You know what I'm saying? But give me the thing at the end that you told me I would get. You told me if I was the right guy, then she would be different. You told me if I was masculine, then she would be feminine. You told me all of these lies, and I'm supposed to believe them. And it isn't the women part. It's not the woman part. I expect them to lie. I expect them to lie. They need to get what they need to get. The problem I have is that dudes are saying this goofy shit.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have. Is that niggas is lying. If you're gonna lie to me, then you need to reconcile it. Because again, once this is the thing, and I think I said this on your show before. The thing that we need to do is we need to push for mandatory paternity tests. Because I think that dudes don't know how dirty women can be. Mm-hmm. I don't think that we know. I think that I'm still on the fence. Even though I know because I'm here, I still am on the fence. We don't know how dirty our women are. We don't know how dirty American women are. We don't know how dirty Black American women are. Mandatory paternity test. If we get that going, then the mask is taken off for the Scooby-Doo villain, and we know who did what. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we need something that's going to red pill the rest of the men. We need something that's going to do it, and it's going to be something like either that, marriage reform, something. One of those things need to happen, because a lot of times with these questions, it's like we shouldn't have to. This is obvious.
This shouldn't have to be a conversation.
It shouldn't even have to be a conversation. Like, what are we talking? We're letting Brittany Renner come back on the dating market and actually listening to her talk. Why the fuck are we listening to her talk? She shouldn't be able to say nothing. She executed the play that she said that she was going to execute to a T, and then now we letting her talk. She shouldn't have a conversation.
I'll play devil's advocate, because you need to set somebody as an example. You can go back and watch her say, I've done this. Look what I've done to men. Look how I'm playing this. I'm getting all attention. He. And now you're seeing the other side of that. Now you can say, you can look at, okay, this is what you don't want to go after, or for the lady, this is what you not want to be. So the reason why a lot of times we're having this conversation for a lot of men, and shout out to the late Alan Roger Curry, because it took me a while to buy this book, The Beta Male Revolution.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I bought the book and I read it. And and shout out to Obsidian, because I also bought Promises I Can Keep While Women Choose Motherhood Over Marriage.
Oh wow.
When you understand a woman's mating and dating, selection criteria, I would literally, like, if I were like the head figure of Passport Bro, those would be your resources right there. Mm-hmm. Go read those two books and be like, why am I having this conversation when I could easily go to a patriarchal, area where I know that, these women want to be wives. They want to be, mothers. They want to be exactly what we need to be. And I can live in peace. And I ain't got to have this conversation. Mm-hmm. We're only having a conversation because what's happening now is men are finally moving with their feet. I don't have to have this conversation anymore. Gen Z done already checked out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we have to keep button heads and button heads and button heads trying to have these discussions when they know what the game plan is, and you see what's going on with the economy, it's going to take something drastic for them to be like, oh shit.
Something drastic has already happened. I think the
Yeah.
80s, 90s, and the 2000s, that was the height of the independent strong. I don't need no man. 2008 hit and they started losing them houses. It got real. You know what I'm saying? And then you come back. I was like, whoo, that strong and independent stuff, it didn't work, but we're gonna get back. And then they got back, and then the pandemic hit and they started losing them. They started losing houses, started getting evicted. It's like the real stuff keep happening, but the thing is that the resources don't dry up because dudes facilitate their strong independent, don't need no man shit. They facilitate their single motherhood. They facilitate all of the feminism. We facilitate all this bullshit, and then it's just like they're not actually doing it on their own. You know what I mean? If we just unplug, it'd be different. And that's the thing. That's why the passport bro thing. Like I say, I haven't traveled myself, but I like look, anything a bro can do to give him more options and more power, more negotiation tools, man, do that shit. Do it. Do it 10 times over.
To what you're saying, because you kind of alluded to basically like, winter is coming. I always say it comes in waves. It's never going to stay. They'll get the bailout. It's like they're too big to fail. It's not. Oh, that's a double line. They too big to fail. It's not. So winter's never going to come like that. Like everything you said, like it was something happened, and you could see a difference. You could see a noticeable difference. But then eventually it's going to correct itself. Eventually the bailout is going to come, whether it come from the government or whether it come from men just bailing women out. But once that bailout happened, then things just go back to their regularly scheduled program.
But I think that resources is drying up now because men are like, why am I taking this? Why am I being responsible for your bad mistakes over the past 10, 15, 20 years? I shouldn't have to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? If you think about, because I'm going into these Passport Bros channels, I'm seeing what they're, I'm just kind of checking out what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, why deal with this over here when I can go over here where my dollar stretches? I can have a working $20, an hour job, working from a laptop remote. I can go live in another country and live luxuriously instead of dealing with what's over here. It's just some things are a better setup.
I'm glad you brought that up because like you technically on the clock working remotely, got your laptop right there.
Yep.
And you said, I mean, we ain't gonna give no details. I think you mentioned earlier that you said I don't think I'm outing anything. You were married, you're not married now. We're going through okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. So you sound like you de facto about to passport it up, in other words, because you work remotely, you can get on a plane, you can fly, you can do the same job.
Yeah.
So you about to passport bro it up.
I mean,
that's what you're sounding like.
It's definitely on the table. And it's not even just for me. I have 3 sons.
Oh.
And I'm setting myself up to say, look, you don't have to deal with this if you don't want to. I'm gonna set you up internationally so you can have that option. If they choose to stay here, cool. I mean, but people should travel anyway. The world is bigger than the United States.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that's an option for me, and I can, if I, get custody of my children, why not do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, because eventually, like, whatever happens between me and my ex-wife, like, I'm never put that in their face. Like, they'll eventually figure that out. But at the same time, you have to realize, like, to go through generations and generations of matriarchy, you can put a stop to that.
Yeah.
You can put a stop to it. Like, look, I'm gonna bring you over here. I'm gonna show you how women around the world act compared to how they act over here, because everybody knows when you go over here, when people from other countries come over here, it's a difference. They can't act like that in other places because guess who hemmed them up? The fathers, the grandfathers, the uncles. There's
who gets to them first. Actually, is the women. The women get to them first.
Right.
That's
but
social pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, why not look at those options as a man? Because the argument is you can't afford it because there's always some kind of straw man argument about it. Look, if you can go over, because if I could look at the dollar conversion.
I just did a video on that the Colombian dollar. So the $1,000 a month US is the average income over there.
Wow.
So your 50,000 here, which is the average, your 50,000 here is 250 there.
So why not go over there?
Wow.
And I watched the video
I need to go over there.
I watched the brother. He went out
passport? Oh, so.
He did a
No passport, sis.
he did a whole video where he went around the city. I think it was like it wasn't Medellin, it was Bogota or something like that. And he had $25.
Mhm.
He had 20. He ate 3 meals, traveled, went out to the club, drank, and by the time he came back, he still had like $3 left. You get what I'm saying? So
That's
it's
what
like,
I'm saying,
why,
man.
like economically, it just makes sense. Why not go look for an opportunity? And what's happening is, I shout out to the late Charles Tyler. He's been doing it since like the 90s, 2000s. I mean, brothers didn't know that this was an option.
Mm-hmm.
We were always taught, because let's even go back, because even before there was Dr. Umar Johnson, there was the original pro-black sector. So you had like the Dr. Fresh Francis Welsings, the Dr. Phil Valentine's, Dr. Laila Africa. Like we had the keep the black families together, sector of it, but their whole thing was family. Their whole thing was, keeping everything intact. Now you got this new generation of, conscious folks, and it kind of just turned into a black woman worship type ordeal. So so men have always been conditioned to kind of, try to keep this thing together. But now you have an option of, if you like black women, why not find a Dominican or find a Colombian or find a Brazilian or find a, and it's just like, at some point, these brothers are starting to say, like, I don't have to deal with this anymore. I got it from my ex-wife. I got it from my grandmother. I got it from my mother. I got it from my aunt. I got it from my sisters. I'll be even personal with y'all. It's just not like, it's not make me be a passport bro, but I watched my father be worked to death.
Mm-hmm.
From my mother to his sisters, because they couldn't keep men in their lives. So who they always depend on.
Take care of them too.
You know what I'm saying?
It's tough.
So imagine my dad has his own family of 5 children, on top of, my aunt needs I don't know, someone to come do this, come fix up at the house, or whatever, on top of taking care of my grandmother, because I'm trying to think. My grandfather passed, well, his dad passed in 82. I wasn't even born yet. So imagine like having that responsibility and the extra years onto it. So it was just like this man been worked. So it was just like, where's the benefit? Where is the, obviously you have to take care of your family. It's one thing, but it's just like, where was the implication to say, hey, why don't you go find a good person to, to marry and take care of you? But no, it was like, we're gonna strap on to, to strap on to my dad and work him. And it was just like, what do you, what do you do?
It's like I did. He did, and that's the thing. Like when you do everything right, that's the only problem I have. It's like if I did it wrong, I get it. If I did it wrong and I didn't, I'm not productive. You know what I mean? If I'm not nice to people, if I'm not kind, if I'm not giving, not benevolent, I don't, nobody likes me. I get it. But when you do everything right, and then the people who say they're supposed to love you, who are supporting you, which I liked, a Game Changer had a video about we don't need your support, as a very good stream of his. But it's like the people who are supposed to be supporting the good guy, they treat him, they work him to death. Or he's a utility, and not even because like being useful is I love being useful.
Absolutely,
but you shouldn't be misused.
Right.
And that's the thing about, working somebody. It's like being misused. Like, like my thing, I used to work, I still work a lot, but I was working 70 hours a week, you know what I mean? And I had 2 jobs, and I was doing that. Well, 70 hours at one job and like another 10, 15. I'm doing all of this working, and it's like, what is it for? I'm doing everything right though.
Yeah.
I'm providing, I'm paying every bill. I'm doing everything right. Where is the outcome that is representative of that?
And the wild thing is, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. I just we just watched a video. Shout out to Crimson Cure. She did a video where the woman was like, "Being good isn't good enough."
Oh, I heard about that.
You know what I'm saying?
The video from the girl who said you can be a good guy, but what if? It's I hate like they talk about
y'all, they don't care.
They talk about our
Always hold it over your
podcast
head.
and how that we're like. I'm looking for this video for the broke, out of shape, ugly guy that's asking for a dime. I'm looking for that video because apparently that video exists in abundance. Liars, but it's like, but the other side exists in abundance. The woman who should not be asking for these luxurious out of this world things, and she's just asking for them. I mean, we had 2.5 years of one guy, one show, probably 10 women a night, and Kevin Samuels saying, "Okay, what do you want? 6 foot Jesus. and then they go through, well, what does it take to get 6 foot Jesus? And they don't know. We got that in abundance. There's nothing on the other side that even suggests that we're asking for something that's crazy.
Yeah,
Typically,
most of the time these guys just take what they can get.
not even on
That's
some
what's
take,
sad about
not
it.
even on some take what they can get. Well, yeah, it is take what you can get. It is take what you can get, which is dumb.
Now I'm about to ruffle some feathers.
Go ahead.
But then everyone gets up in a bunch when he gets the equivalent in another race.
Wow.
When you do everything right, and it's like, okay, when you, and I'm just using names for the sake of, when Keisha's not here because, she's off doing her own thing, but when Becky shows up, who's your equivalent, everyone ruffles, everyone's feathers are ruffled. The one thing I hate.
But Becky's not their equivalent. They don't see that.
What do you mean?
They think she's Becky's black. You got to stay with black. That's not equivalent.
But if she's not there, so let's put it in numbers. Let's say a guy's a 6, just a normal, normal guy, whatever, and his 6 equivalent is nowhere to be found. But the white 6, takes the place, and then everyone's up in arms. It's a funny argument. We always hear that black men always choose ugly black women, or black men always choose ugly white women.
Yeah, I don't buy that. But
I don't buy it either.
I don't buy that.
It's easy to go on. It's easy to go and find a picture and say, see, this is what they do. I mean, you usually attract, around your range across the board.
Right.
Now, here's the argument for that. Even if that is the case, let's say I attract, ugly, fat, white women. Why did I not choose an ugly, fat black woman? What does she do? What is the white woman doing? But I'd rather put up with her than the ugly fat black woman. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's asking that question.
And the thing about your question,
the scale they work off.
But that's the thing. Your question is always an indictment on the man, not the market. It's never like, well, like the market for fat, ugly, black women was just. I mean, I don't understand how it could be good, but it was trash. The market was trash for ugly black. Like the ugly black fat women didn't cook. I don't know why, but like she just didn't. And then the ugly fat white woman said, yeah, she's gonna cook and she's gonna come off the big fat thing that's between her legs. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna come like and then I think I've heard him say that if you see a black guy with a fat white girl, he likely would have been with a fat black girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He likely
I don't think it's he went,
He didn't go over there and say, I'ma just downgrade. Like, nah, I don't think that we do that. But the thing is that that's the narrative that helps them. And that's another thing too. We gotta stop. Like all of these narratives that ultimately benefit women, we have to go behind the thing to see, okay, like, why are they saying this? Because this doesn't benefit us. Like calling passport bros predators and saying they're broke and they're the leftover men. Like clearly you got to have some upward, mobility about yourself. You can't be super broke. You know what I'm saying? Saying that they're leftover men from a physical standpoint. Well, look, if they're physically unattractive, I don't know why you would care about them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because they're physically unattractive.
That's not a thing in other cultures.
It's
where
not.
They're going to look at the guy who's upwardly mobile, can travel the world, have
productive men. A productive man works everywhere except here. Being a productive man is like, that's the lick everywhere else except for here. You got to be 6 foot Jesus.
All right, well, hold on real quick. Shout out to Game Changer. He says they're like kids that only behave and do chores when you cut their allowance. Shout out to Omega Dreads, the gaming channel in the building. Says brothers, evil needs no reasons. He's saying evil needs no reason.
Right.
And shout out to Chantel Simone. Thanks for coming on through. Says good combo. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I forgot. Me and you, we did talk about me coming on your show. I said I was going to come up with a topic and email you, and I never came up with one or emailed you. I got to get on that.
I thought I saw.
I got to get on that.
The only reason I noticed the name because it was Christian. I thought I saw Christian had a.
Man, my bad, Christian.
He sent 2 super chats.
I think he said a couple.
My bad.
I forgot.
I'll try to find that. But all right, one question I do want to ask. I want to throw this one at Jackie, and we have the 2-hour mark. I said I was going to only do 2 hours, so but I do want to throw this one at Jackie, and I'm trying to get you to channel a little bit of your sisterhood.
Yes.
On this one.
I have no sisterhood in me.
Oh, you already showed a few flashes of it today. I don't know what you talking about. You but
okay,
no.
if her crazy girl would have been here, she'd have let it go.
No,
she
she would have did enough for me.
Yeah, it was
For the both of us.
yeah, but okay, to some degree, when as a black woman, I hate when people do that, but as a black woman, when you hear black men talking about passport bros and passporting it up in the whole works, there has to be a part of you to where you're not necessarily about to go full six to goddess, because I think she just went full gangster with it. But there is a part of you like that, that's a mood. That's a movement that basically is from your standpoint. There's no upside or benefit in it for you. So a part of you got to. I think an honest response from a black woman is to be either mad or apathetic, but supportive. I do question sometimes. Like this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so okay, yeah. See, why supportive? I understand apathy towards it. Sort of like the same apathy I have to black women traveling. Good, go for it. I don't care. So, but you're saying I'm not supportive of them traveling.
I'm supportive of them traveling too.
But okay, why supportive of black men traveling?
Oh, because I mean, it doesn't matter. I think people should get what they want to get out of life. Like I'm not trying to stop them.
Okay, so from a broad general perspective,
exactly,
you're supportive, but you don't look at it from a broader market standpoint.
The thing is, okay, like I said, you're not gonna like my answer. The thing is, the passport bro community is very small. It's not gonna really affect me.
Okay.
So like guys going off dating other women,
I don't think that it affects you in number. I think where it does affect, the dating market is it just creates another option. It's like interracial, intercultural dating. Shout out to Ed Henderson for that one. But it's like the idea that there's another option always affects you in some way, shape, or form. So you can say, well, it doesn't affect because it's a small group. Well, so it's a small group of dudes who actually date interracially, because 87% of the time.
That's why that doesn't bother me either.
But that's the thing. It's like, I'm not saying you should be upset, but I'm saying like all of these things take away from the dating market. You know what I mean? And it takes away from the group that always is going to be, married the least, the most baby mamas, so on and so. It's going to take away from them because they don't have the traditional outcomes. You know what I mean? So it does affect you. You're not a baby mama.
I'm a sane black woman. I'm like ahead of a lot of people.
Sane?
I'm good.
Sane.
I'm sane black. I'm ahead of a lot of people.
Tell us anything.
So that's why I'm not really worried. If I was one of these people out here that had like kids or something, and I had like a whole bunch of extra baggage, then I might be worried that I'm losing my stepdaddy plan or something.
That's definitely plan.
That's a good point. Actually, that's a good point. If you was walking around with a trail of kids shout out to Black Ram, I think he the one started saying thuggo. If you had a bunch of thuggos kids, and then you saw these dudes who in a previous generation would have been the simps bailing out the baby mamas, you would have looked at it. Yeah, you probably would look at that differently. Like, ooh, we losing the bailout plan on the back end now.
And this is not to, you should feel that way. I want you to keep feeling that way. But then you still do have, Sanaa Lathan, Tracy Ellis Ross, and so on and so forth with no kids, but still have the same outcome of a woman who did have kids.
Oh no, that's some
so it's like, I get what you're saying, but I'm not.
Is it because black men didn't want them? Do you think that's the reason why?
I don't think anybody. I think that like, I'll do this for you. It's like the idea of going to not financial, but a institution of higher learning and being around a bunch of productive dudes, and then none of them picking you.
She dated productive dudes.
She didn't marry any of them. There's nobody gave her a ring. Nobody said here. She's around productive dudes all the time. She works in the industry, whereas, let them tell it, it's male dominated. Okay, cool. I'll accept your premise. It's male dominated. Why didn't you get one?
But did they reject her, or did she reject them? Like,
you think, hold on.
Better.
I'll ask you this question.
She'll do better, like Lori Harvey, thinking they're gonna do better in the future.
I'll ask you this question. Do you think she turned down 2 proposals? Tracy Ellis Ross, for example. Do you think she turned down even two proposals?
I think so.
You think she turned down two proposals?
Yeah, there's regular
I
average
think I'm
women
more-
that turn down.
I
don't
think I'm
think-
more on that
proposals.
side of her turning down proposals. Like women like that,
Yeah.
especially if they career taking off her, they don't want to get married.
But so we're
Yeah.
saying that she turned down a
She's
dude on his.
picky.
Hold on, we thinking that she turned down a dude on one knee with a ring in his hand. I don't think she turned that down. I think she may have turned down the conversation, but I don't think she
Yes.
turned down the actual
It's a
gesture.
proposal, yeah.
Like she ain't turned down no proposals. She
Well, if
wasn't
you turn
engaged.
down-
You
she
turn
wasn't
down
Wait,
the
what do you mean? What do you mean by
conversation, that's
turning?
not the proposal.
Yeah, what
She
do you mean?
wasn't-
Hold on, wait.
Go
Let's
ahead.
flesh it out. What do you mean by turning down the conversation?
She may have turned down the conversation in the sense of like, well, you know, do you ever think about us getting married, Jackie? And then she would say, you know, I'm really focused on my career, really, and that she may have turned down the conversation.
That's lightweight rejecting the proposal.
But this is the thing I'm saying. What I'm saying is that she's never been engaged.
No, it's that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
She's never been engaged.
She's
So
never-
it's
she's
not
never been
like
engaged.
it's not like with Nia Long, who had a baby by Ime Udoka and was reportedly engaged, whatever. But it's just like she stopped that, because if he's gonna give you a ring, then you should probably just get married. She stopped that, likely.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking that Sanaa Lathan and Tracy Ellis Ross, for example, are doing that.
I think they did that.
Well, then I mean,
because
we
I know
disagree.
women who don't have their status, their money, that do that. Like they have status
gotta-
in their own little world.
You got to tell that story.
They have good.
You got to tell that story again about your mom. What did she tell? Dude?
Oh my god!
You already put it out there on your channel. I ain't out nothing.
Oh yeah.
So
that's
what
true.
did she say to a
my
dude?
stepdad wanted to marry my mom before she was 40, and she told him no, like you can't. I want to live my life, and then after 40 you can propose to me, we can get married.
And but how old was she when she told him that?
39.
She's in her third. She was. I met my stepdad was like when I was around 10, so she was like her early 30s. So he waited it out for like a decade.
So this is a woman at 30.
So back to the
Like-
hold on.
Is it whose fault is it? Sorry, it's our fault. That should never happen. And you
She
know,
wanted
and
to be
props,
free.
and props to your mama for executing that play.
Yeah,
It is
she
what it is.
She executed Order 66
You know,
all day on him.
She
Yeah,
executed
'cause
Order
she-
66. But that's the problem. Not, and you know, I want the best for everybody, really. But your mama should have left your mama alone.
Oh,
like
for
immediately.
sure. But I know,
Immediately. It
that's
should have
because
just
I
been like,
know I have more stuff. But yeah,
keep
you should
it,
definitely-
keep
should
whatever.
definitely-
Yeah.
Keep it all to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we don't want
but-
to, you know, Mama Jackie is okay with me. I'm not like, you know,
Yeah.
but
that,
the
that
thing-
has to sink in though, that a woman at 30 is telling a woman at 30 with kids is telling a man, hey, don't propose to me until I'm over 40. Then he proposed that when she turned 40.
Yeah,
He-
I think they
he
got
showed
married
up
when
with
she was, like,
ring, and then they
42 or
got
something
married.
like that.
man, that's tough, man.
Like
That's-
That's why I'm like, normal women are
That's-
doing this. So I know these celebrity women
But
are
I don't.
doing this.
But the thing is that you're saying normal women are doing it. Normal women are doing it, and they're not around dudes with the means to kind of take them off the market. Like they're around. Like if you're what's that? Amanda Seales, for example, you're seeing successful dudes all day. That's your circle. Your
But
circle
she's
is.
insufferable.
She is insufferable, but that's the point that I'm saying.
She's so annoying.
How many proposals do you think she's actually turning down?
Hey,
You're insufferable. Like who's proposing to
when it
her?
comes to her, she reminds me of her character off of My Brother and Me. So remember how she's going on all of them little tangents?
You know what? I don't. Is that like the kid show?
Mhm.
Yeah, from
She
Nickelodeon,
was
My
a
Brother
kid
and Me.
when
She
was a
played
kid.
she played the best friend of like their sister.
I think I remember the show, but I never really watched it.
So like she would have like these. They'll be like she'd be like I think the sister's name was like Melanie, and Melanie would be like, "Hey Dion, you want to get something to eat? Yeah, we get something to eat. What we want to eat? And how much money do we need? And what if the boys there? And what about Tim? Because I guess she had a crush on some dude named Tim. And if Tim doesn't like me, and like she would go like this whole tangent, and it kind of like transpired into her as an adult. Like that's I never like she's been that character like her whole entire life, and it's
She's
just like
annoying.
She's like she's intolerable. She's insufferable. But the thing that I'm saying is like I don't think that women like her with no kids, never been married. I don't think that women like her are getting proposals.
She's in a relationship right now.
Let
I
her
mean,
tell it.
but
Let her tell it. I
Right.
mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
and here's the crazy part is that with ladies responding to all this, what they don't realize, they're putting their true selves out there in real time. So there other men from other races are seeing how they react or correlate. Like the internet has opened up the wide range of things, And so it's not all of you, but at the same time, it's like y'all fought wearing bonnets, y'all twerking down the streets, protesting, y'all doing like other people are seeing this in real time. They're like, okay, I can't deal with that. So men are saying, because men have never had a problem with saying, if you want to go date interracially, go. But what we say on the back end is good luck on that market. You think Bob's gonna give up Becky? You think Mario's gonna give up Maria? Do you think
Leah's gonna give up Ming Lee?
You know what I'm saying? Like when they're watching how you behave and act in real time, like this is what the brothers got to go through.
Yeah, you're not just being defiant when you say "fuck you." I'm not taking off my bonnet. You're not being defiant to black men. You're being defiant to all men,
right?
Because everybody can see.
And who's gonna put up with that? Now imagine a man who has power. Imagine, if we're gonna go the white supremacist route, imagine a man who's like, I'm not gonna put up with this. Like, you back talk me again, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just, it's funny how they just don't think about the hindsight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt so bad for I don't remember the sister's name, but Chad Wheeler, the football player, and even still they cried out like, well, y'all not protecting us. How am I supposed to protect you?
How's that my problem?
That's not my problem. You went to the other side willfully. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like
the brothers
but
argue.
That's her man. Her man was supposed to protect her.
Right.
But, like,
right.
how's that someone else's problem?
Yeah, and this.
But at the same, but this is what y'all bring to us though.
Right.
How dare you go let me be with somebody else and not get my behind beat? You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right. You victim. Right.
I be asking, like, I'll do the thing where it's like, of course, black women are the least protected and all that stuff. It'd just be like right before that, 5 seconds ago, you told me that you were strong and independent and didn't need a man. Question. Where was you gonna get the protection from? Because I hope it wasn't from the men you just said 5 seconds ago you didn't need.
First of all, I would, and the thing that gripes me is, as a true Malcolm X fan, how dare you say that shit?
Yeah.
Malcolm X was a stock-born conservative, and for you to turn around and use that quote, kind of like they use the Bible when you find a good woman or you find a wife, you find a good thing. Yeah. How dare you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Malcolm X talking about a whole different type of woman who's saying
that interview is probably, I think I'm pretty sure it's at least an hour. It's an hour. They took that 5 seconds and then made that.
You got to send me that.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I didn't know that it was a whole longer conversation.
It's a press conference. It's literally like what's set up here. It would be like he's Malcolm X, and then it's a bunch of us talking to him, and he's sitting there. And then he said, I didn't know that. I was just randomly watching it. You know how you watch one thing, and I'm working, and then my TV is up there, and it just went to that, and I just started looking, and then the quote came up. And I was like, that's what he was getting this shit from? You know what I'm saying?
Was damn near like a whole different context?
The thing was that he was saying something about just black people as a whole. It was like, you know how if I'm describing the room and then I say something about, something about Sonny, something about Bernard, something about, it's just like, but it's in context of the room. It was kind of like he was saying that black people as a whole have a issue with being, the least this, the least that, the most this, the most that. And it's just like they took that one part and made it, dude, it sucks that they did that because it's bastardizing the actual point.
And what was in context. And about that is like, how are you going to take a conservative message when Malcolm X clearly said, stay away from white liberals? They're more dangerous than anybody else on the planet.
That was probably in the same.
You get what I'm saying? And they
speech
took it hook, line, and sinker, but you have the nerve to go back and find that footage for a 5-second clip. Fuck you.
Yeah, you can have it. I just say it's just, it just puts me in a mind of just, all right, cool, we ain't shit. Date out. Marty has a Marty McFly. His way of handling things, it's just like, it's seamless, it's beautiful. He'll just say, I'll accept all of the nonsense you say about us. We don't protect you. We're not productive. We're nothing. Okay, fine. I accept it. Okay. If we ain't shit, let's take us off the board. Then why are your outcomes still not better? Because me being an ain't shit dude doesn't stop you from getting the dude you're supposed to get. Let's go and let's figure that part out. Because if it's worth what you're saying it's worth, then you should be able to get what you qualify for. Correct? And it's silence all the time. It's silence because it's just like, you're not the least married because we ain't shit. You're the least married because, the market is spoken.
Mind you, we were the most married up until 1960 when they started keeping records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's at what point do you start? Because you can't battle the statistics anymore. Once their mind is made up, it's made up.
I don't even like doing statistics no more. I'm a numbers guy, like to the heart. I hate.
But
doing
at the same
numbers.
time, but somebody had to come out and say that these narratives are skewed. Here, look at the numbers. When women used to say black men were more in jail than in college, when they just found out that was a myth, because when they did that study, most of the universities weren't keep track of how many black men they had, and they never asked the HBCUs. So it was like it was a skewed study, but at the same time, it pushed a narrative for whatever, it pushed I would say pushed a narrative. It pushed a skewed fact for someone else's narrative. And guys are finally saying, if you're not going to straighten up, then we're gonna execute elsewhere. Other men have been doing it. They're right now in Australia. They're really trying to stop Australian men from marrying women from Thailand and bringing them back over there.
Oh damn!
They're trying to stop.
They're trying to politicize Australian men bringing women from Thailand back to Australia. Like, how far does it go? You're telling me you're gonna go try to get international zaddy and stop me from doing what I'm doing?
Dice.
Why don't you just change the product? All men are saying is change the product, but instead of just fighting me on it, or instead of just changing the product, you'd rather fight me on it. I'm just gonna go to another store. I'm gonna go to another store, find what I want, and if you're going to overseas, you're getting it at a way cheaper price. Who would, if this is a consumer's market, who would fight that?
Nah, I'd go get it. And like I say, the one thing, like when Marty, he was on, I forget who he was on. Who was he? Oh, he was on Shay Sade, and he said the currency exchange. He says it's like 4 to 5 times. I immediately went and looked that up, and it was just like he was dead on. $50,000 is literally like freaking $250, and it's just like, well, I make more than 50,000. So like, you mean I'm going over to what? If I can get him a remote job, I can go over there and just live like what are you talking about?
Right?
Like if that's the only benefit, that's a big ass benefit. Yeah. If that's the only benefit.
That's Black Wolf Inc. in the building says, well, actually, I would say that was a good thing because it made black men want to be successful and not in prison more. Hold on. Hold on, wait. There we go. He says the stat just made it better. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I was only supposed to be going 2 hours a day. We didn't went over where we at? We at the 2 hour and 20 minute mark. 2 hour and 20 minute mark. Most of the shows will be like this. I can't guarantee everyone be like this. Eventually, there will be the case. Most of the show will be with in studio guests. So we're going to be working on that, going to be getting that going. But thank you to everybody who came out today. We're about to wrap this bad boy on up. Well, we're going to get some final words. We'll get some final words. We'll go ahead, Jackie. You can get the last words. I did it on purpose because I knew you weren't going to come up with nothing to say.
Exactly. I wasn't ready.
All right, you blew it. All right, go ahead, Mike. What's your final word?
All right, man. Final words. If you not just try to subscribe to me.
Oh yeah. That's it. That's my fault. I meant to. That's on the tip of my tongue.
Go back to her.
Yeah, no, subscribe. Oh no, yes, L. Shit, yeah. And go to I think GC show about to start right now, so y'all can go right over to Game Changer show when y'all get out of here. But definitely subscribe to everybody here today. I think RM is dropping the links right now. Y'all can see Mike and Vince Perkins link right there. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him. Coach Ali's Corner, Jackie. Well, I mean, she changed the name to Jackie.
Jackie loves Jack.
Jackie loves Jack. Yeah, it's kind of
Jackie loves Jack.
kind of a weird name, but all right, y'all. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we about to get up out of here. Thank you, y'all came out today. I had people cancel on me, all kind of stuff when this almost. Damn near, I thought it wasn't gonna happen. I ain't gonna lie.
And but let's push 6 foot Jesus into the lexicon.
Oh, six foot Jesus walking on water.
Abs, walking on water with the Gucci flip flops.
There you go. Yeah,
let's push that into the lexicon.
Yeah,
please.
we gotta get that trending.
Yes, I
like that. All right. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.